go ahead and put Do Not Disturb
Yep.
on.
All right, we're live.
And we're live.
And we're live. We're live.
I've been so hyped all day to start recording. Like the last hour, I feel like I've been like, I feel like I've
almost
been in like
texted you.
an NFL locker room.
I was texting you like, do you want to start earlier?
Like, I literally felt like I was back in high school, like getting ready for a football game, just sitting there like, let's fucking go. I'm so hyped right now.
Yeah. No, I needed the time in between because I had to like put together all the info, and then I also edited a video and I've been posted it to YouTube. So I've had a busy day. I also did my taxes, so
you're right before the deadline.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
You don't owe, do you? A lot of people owe this.
No. I actually am getting back, between me and my wife, we're getting back like five grand.
Hell yeah. We got back $3,300.
Nice.
Which was our, because she didn't work for 6 months last year. She was getting her master's degree. But that was a lot more than we were expecting because she didn't work for half the year. But my pay did go up last year.
Nice.
So when I got that new job in January last year. H-Town Ray's joining
H-Town Ray in the house. The house in which we are, H-Town Ray is also in.
So you've been a while. Night shift plus traveling for work equals sleepy. Absolutely.
Been a while. Welcome, H-Town Ray. We missed you.
Yeah. Nice to see you in the Patreon intro. Appreciate the support. Ethan, how's it going?
Here. How's it going, buddy? Yeah, we wanted to, we usually do this for just specific Patreon members to join us. But because of the festivities, it's the whole thing today. Like we just
big episodes. We opened it up big episodes. Yeah.
Big episodes. And today's probably, I would say, the biggest episode of the year. Like this was our biggest episode last year.
Yeah, I told my wife, like, this is like our biggest of the year. Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah. Last year's Star Wars Celebration episode was by far our highest listened to episode. Like,
so does that mean like a lot of people actually watch and then they're like, no, screw this, I'm not listening anymore?
Maybe
they come in one time.
Yeah,
Bond, what's up?
It's weird. I don't know what causes that, but it's a thing.
They're like, oh, well, I'll pop in, listen to Black Series Cantina, and then like, oh no, this sucks.
We actually got a shout out from Galaxy of Toys on.
I posted that on my TikTok story and my Instagram story.
Yeah,
I think to try to encourage
kind of
people
fun.
to give us
I feel I feel like we've made it where kind of our other podcasting peers are recognizing us and mentioning us.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it. I'm down.
I do want to give a big shout out to John Wilkerson. He became our very first Cantina VIP.
That's true.
Which
we'll
is
have him
awesome.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also, I think I'll do this with any VIP. And if Mike wants to hop on an occasional episode, if he has time, he can. I think me and him are going to record like a Patreon exclusive hour chat later sometime this month. And then we'll probably do that like every month whenever we have time or something, as long as, for any VIP. And he's also coming out to ICC Con, which will be awesome to bump into him there. Kirby Brock, hello. How's it going? Glad we got some people in the live chat.
Yeah.
I figured people would be excited for today. Brian.
And then also Brian Eovasius. I just really like saying that.
I think the first time he hopped in the chat, were we like questioning how to say his name?
No, I pronounced it perfectly.
Did you? I don't know. Maybe it wasn't him.
No, he even commented on it.
We butchered somebody's name.
I butcher a lot of people's names, but I don't know. His is very phonetic if you just sound it out.
That is true.
I guess it's not phonetic because Vasius is not a phonetic way of spelling that, but I figured it out. So we got people listening. We're just doing our little Patreon pre-show ramble, but I want to give people time to we want to give people time to show up, but we have a lot of stuff to cover. We have a 60 slide presentation that I made.
And that's after Fine Editions, after Mando Mania reveals, And before we talk about the 3 movies they announced, what else we got here?
Bad Batch season 2 finale, Mando,
5 and 6,
all
Mando.
of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Ahsoka teaser, which was lit. Yep. And we do have, we love everything pretty much, but we do have one rant we're going to throw in. Oh. So I know people like the rants.
You'll never see it coming.
People like the rants, I've noticed. People tell me they need one rant from me at a show, but Mike is going to hop on this one in this rant also. I think he might rant more about it than I will.
You'll never see it coming. Cool. Well, I don't know. We don't have a lot to preamble about. We got some people watching. Some people will probably hump. And I know Landspeeder Luke is in celebration right now, so he probably won't show up because it's like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock there. They're 8 hours ahead of me, and it's 4 o'clock here.
He also hasn't been sleeping.
That's true, poor guy. Patrick actually didn't do anything bad this time, I feel like. Patrick was, like, he was fine. I don't know. Like,
Patrick was fine. He didn't do a whole lot of talking.
No, like, I didn't think he did anything.
I thought it was funny when they announced the 6 holiday figures. The lady was like, "Oh, I know," and then somebody said, "But our casual fans love them."
Yeah,
that was so good.
It's true.
So, did you clean up all your figures? I know they were everywhere.
I did. Yeah, I know. Right? Yeah. So it's funny on Friday. Like, we're on the way to the airport, and I get a text message from Chris, one of our viewers and stuff, and he sends me a message. It was a Facebook message. He's like, "How many figures fell?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "We just had an earthquake," because he lives locally to me. He's like, "We just had an earthquake." I was like, "We did?" I'm on the road. Like, I couldn't feel it in the car. But then I see, like, all the, I'm in a Facebook group with, like, the people in my neighborhood, because we live in a gated community.
Yeah.
And so there's a bunch of posts in there like, "Did you guys feel that?" I was like, because it's like a 4.5 or something on the Richter scale. Which is enough to knock stuff over. And sure enough, the Offender was actually the top shelf right here. You can't see as my first order figures. All of them fell over, and they knocked, like, the first parts of the bottom shelves below it down. So I had about
a trickle effect, sort of.
Yeah, I had about 20 figures on the ground, but like nothing over here fell. None of the Transformers fell. It was literally just, if it hadn't been for those first order figures at the top falling down and taking a bunch with it, I don't think it would have been a problem.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of whenever a figure does fall is sort of like doing the investigating and seeing which one caused it. You go down the domino line.
It's like CSI. It's like forensics.
And then, like, the Ahsoka will fall, and you'll be
the
like... The
angle here of impact means that,
Yeah, like, you can just tell, like, oh, so this one fell, and the lightsaber was barely long enough and hit this droid, and then it just caused...
Put a bunch of those little, like, police lines and, like... connecting
like
here. Yeah.
That's funny. I do want to show the Patreon members this. Check it out, fellas. I finally got a shelf specifically for the 3D
That
prints.
shelf is perfect for what you did.
I know. I can't get it to... I can never, like, do this with one hand, and then down. I got the... You might be able to see it. That's the trash compactor at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, but yeah, that's... I think I'm going to still get... Because this wall is really wide. Right, you see how wide that wall is?
Oh, yeah, you could easily do one more.
Well, I think I've been wanting, like, a really wide black frame, glass bottom, like, shelves.
Okay.
So I think this is just a temporary, but I'm probably going to use this for, like, miscellaneous figures and then put it either here or here.
Yeah.
But that's, like, I needed something. And it's a very nice shelf. I put it together last night.
No, it looks good. You made Landspeeder Luke tear up a little bit. I thought that was...
He said he needed it,
Yeah, that's right.
He said he needed it. And I'm so excited for...
Can we talk about the drama for Patreon? Because I don't want to do it in the main show.
Real quick, I'll say something real quick.
Yeah, do your thing, and we'll talk about the drama. That'll be Patreon specific.
Yeah. So, he did say that since the bridge for the Force Spirit 3-pack is included...
Yeah,
that maybe he can help with that. So I'll print that for me and you, because that's you need the bridge.
You need the bridge. In fact, obviously we're we're not doing this in order because this is all for you guys on Patreon. But when they showed off that picture, when he sent us that picture in the chat, I was like, we're getting a bridge. And then I saw like, no, we're not getting a bridge. And I was kind of upset a little bit. Like, I want that bridge.
I thought it was included when I first saw it. But whenever I heard it wasn't, I was like, well, that probably saves us like $40.
It does easily.
And if Luke makes it, or someone else makes it, I can just print it for us for like $2 in materials. Yeah. Total, like honestly, and then
I still need to send you some Amazon filament. I promise to do that.
Only if I print you something really big, because it's unbelievable how much you can print on filament. Like this entire thing, that entire Emperor's Throne Room, I probably did that on like not even half a roll.
Why don't you just print yourself a new shelf?
I guess I could. It would take a while, but I guess I could. You know? All right, let's get into the drama now.
Yeah. Okay. So we had some drama. Was it yesterday or the day before? And it involves a YouTuber that we all respect and really like, which is not what I was expecting. And the whole thing stems back a month or two. Was it like 2 months, 3 months?
Yeah, it's fairly, I think it's this year, or at least late last year at most.
So Luke, a friend of the show, Landspeeder Luke, also a Patreon member.
Honestly,
and we are
just like a personal friend at this point.
Yeah, he's a person. Yeah, we're all part of that Shill Squad thing that we recently changed our names to. Yeah. Anyways, he noticed that there was a Patreon or an Instagram store that's selling hexagonal stands that are very reminiscent of the ones that he designed and sells the plans for on his Patreon page. Like
oddly, very identically the same.
They're the same. They're the exact same. Let's just, I mean, you can look at them and be like, yep, those are the same. Like, this isn't one of those things where, like, you know, Michael Bay made an asteroid movie, then there was that other asteroid movie. They just happened to make an asteroid movie that came out at the same time, because the only similarity between those things is that it was two movies about asteroids hitting Earth, but like the rest of the movie is completely different. You know, the different characters. Different
it's not like that.
Plot. It's not like that. This is basically like, bro, can I copy your homework? Yeah, but don't make it look the same. But no, they made it look the exact same. So it's very clear that they essentially stole his stuff and is selling it. And, you know, he makes his stuff so people can sell it, but there's a special tier that you have to pay for.
Yeah, you have to pay like $40 a month or something.
To do.
And you can only sell a certain amount of items, I think.
Right. So, but they're like, I don't care. And so he called them out on that. And they responded by blocking him and basically threatening legal action for saying that he was disparaging their name or whatever.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much after that, you know, that we talked about until Jay Hernandez recently just posted a video reviewing those other people's stands. Like, and I want to say this, like, I have nothing against Jay. He probably doesn't know. I mean, he doesn't know anything about this. He got a shipment from these people to review.
It, like, public or anything.
No.
To like post it about it publicly or anything.
Exactly. Like we've all kept this hush hush. As far as he knows, they're just stands or whatever, you know. So, we all, you know, as friends, me personally, I saw that and I'm like, okay, well, I'll make a little like cheeky tongue.
Yeah, we all hopped in there.
We all hopped in. We made some comments, but like mine was like, oh yeah, those are really cool. I've got a couple from when Landspeeder Luke designed them last year. You know, we all said something to the effect, and he essentially deleted all of our comments.
Yeah, I explicitly said these people like straight up jacked.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I didn't accuse anyone of anything.
I went straight for it.
Yeah, all I said was, wow, these are really cool. I've got some too from Landspeeder Luke, even though I don't really have them from Landspeeder Luke. I have them from Zach. Zach made me the pair, but you know, it's the principle of the thing.
Yeah.
I don't mind fudging it a little bit, because ultimately what I said was still somewhat factual. So
True, yeah.
he did design them last year, and I've been in talk. He actually designed them back in like 2021 or something like that. It's been a while. And before we were even friends, like I did send him some messages about like, hey, like what would it take to just have you print these up to me? He always promised, yeah, I'll do it for you. And then he never got around to it because he's a busy guy. So I don't know. It's weird with that drama, especially for someone that we really like. Like I would get him ignoring our comments or maybe responding saying like, yeah, I don't really know anything about that. Like you have to take it up with them.
Yeah.
Like I get that, but like to just straight up delete our comments is what really kind of
bothered me.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
It's just kind of petty,
It's petty.
It's petty because at least if these people sent you stands for free to promote your page,
I get it. Or even maybe they're paying you like a little kickback for the people that. I get it. I get it.
Like at least let people know that. Well, you don't have to directly let them know, but in the comments, just leave the comments alone. And if people are going to bash,
just leave the comments. Yeah, exactly.
Just
let people read the comments and make their own conclusions or whatever.
Yeah,
because you can go on Luke's Instagram and see that they are just blatantly the exact same things.
Yeah. So if you all do want Lance Peter Luke stands, if you see, I'm not gonna mention the name of the page that's trying to sell them, and because I've considered making a post. Since I do have a lot of followers, like saying, "Hey, don't buy from these people. They're straight up ripping off Lance Peter Luke." But that's just going to give them publicity and followers.
Yeah, you're giving them attention and publicity. Yeah, exactly.
So if you all want Lance Peter Luke's 3D prints or like those stands, buy them like from Luke. Like go to his Etsy or buy them from a certified seller, like 27.
Yeah, buy them from a certified seller. Yeah,
27on7 Studios. You can buy them from them, and it's Luke is getting
because Luke will not make them for you. He doesn't do that.
Yeah.
But there are people that have taken his designs and they will sell them. So, or you can buy yourself a 3D printer and get the design straight from him and make your own, because that's what Zach did. That's what Justin did.
Yeah,
and that's how I have some, because that's how I have some because you did that.
Yeah, I've thought about doing this where just printing like 6 for each shelf I have, so that the back of them can be higher. But it just seems so daunting for every cube I have here, sort of. It just seems so daunting, so that's why I'm just gonna leave it as is for now. But
no, that's understandable. Well, that's the drama. That's our Patreon only drama hour. Yeah, juicy drama.
It is juicy. But I'm ready for the main.
Let's do it.
You are.
Let's do it. Let's get into the main show, because we have so much main show to get into that I feel like any second we're not talking about the main show, we're just wasting time now.
Hey, were all my episode titles bad? Were they bad?
I thought didn't I use one? I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I don't know what we're using.
I think I used the Return of the Plastic.
Return of the Plastic. Oh, that makes sense, because Return of the Jedi.
Yes, Return of the Jedi. I thought that was pretty appropriate. Like
my favorite one was the Phantom Plastic for some reason.
Yeah.
No.
I liked all of them to some degree, but I picked this one because of the Return of the Jedi connection. Yeah. That's why I picked it.
The Plastic Strikes Back.
Revenge of the Plastic was also one that
That's a good one.
I liked. Yeah. Well, hi there. You're listening to Black Series Cantina. We are on episode 42, and we have a lot to cover today. As always, I am your co-host, Mike, and with me, I have my other co-host, Zach. Say hi, Zach.
Hello there. Big episode today. Star Wars Celebration Hasbro reveals. I've been hyped to talk about it. We're recording the day of the Hasbro panel, so we have
we delayed our release and our recording of the episode because we didn't want to miss a thing. I don't want to close my eyes, and I didn't want to fall asleep because I don't want to miss a thing.
Well, I was ready to close my eyes and fall asleep, and then they dropped 2 more on us after all the panel reveals.
We'll get into that. No spoilerinos there, Zach. Let's take our time. And we'll get into those pretty quickly. But we got to do these in proper order. We, as always, are being joined by our Patreon supporters live in chat. Just getting a couple of name shout outs at the top of the episode. H-Town Ray, Ethan Becerra, Will Bond, Kirby Brock, Brian Eovatius, and Jose Gonzalez just popped in. So those are the people who have said something in chat. So getting a little, shout out. If you want to join us or support the channel, you can head over at Patreon, patreon.com/blackseriescantina. We always do push this a little bit at the top of the show because we don't take sponsors. And this is how we fund the costs that it takes to do a podcast. Isn't that right, Zach?
Absolutely. We appreciate any support, whether you just want to do the $2 tier, $5 tier. We have an $11.38 tier. And then we also even have a VIP tier. And if you join that, I will personally record an episode with you 1 hour every single month. And then Mike will hop in occasionally if he has time. And then we'll do that like once a month for VIP tiers. We're actually going to have our first one later this month with Will Bond. Yeah. So that'll be a good time.
And Colonel Angus just showed up. I believe that's Mark.
What an ass.
Yeah. I love it. Anyway, if you ever, just throwing that out there, because we do Patreon instead of ads. If you're listening to this and you hear an ad, because it's happened, let me know. I've, as far as I know, turned off all ads. So you shouldn't be hearing ads from whatever platform you're listening to us on. You should not be hearing ads. But if one does, email us, message us, let us know. I'll look into it, because we purposely don't want ads except for Patreon. That's it.
Yeah. So thank you all for joining.
Sure.
I do have a question for you before we jump into Fine Editions.
Oh, sure. What's up?
How was it waking up and then not realizing it was an actual live stream, and then Luke just like dropping all the reveals in our text thread? I was like, it's not our legit live stream. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I was a little surprised because, the live stream for me was at 10 a.m. From the Hasbro, the YouTube page. Mm-hmm. And I woke up and I had like 42 messages. I woke up at like 8:30 my time, and I'm like, what the heck? And then I'm like scrolling through, and Luke has sent us all these pictures because he was at the panel at Star Wars Celebration. And it was nice seeing all that. Kind of like, I guess I know what to expect, but it was also, I still enjoyed watching the live stream because there's a lot of context and stuff that they give you when they're revealing it that you don't get from just a picture. So, but it was nice knowing, I guess, what we were gonna see.
Yeah, it was. I was, for some reason, I legit thought it was going to be a live stream, because I feel like
we're going to see it at the same time they are. Yeah, I thought so too.
I thought these big events were legit live streams.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point in pre-recording it and then not even using the source audio?
And the difference, well, I could explain that, but the difference was only an hour. But I think they streamed it. They had to have streamed it at like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, and on my time. But then we saw it at 10 a.m. The replay or whatever. That's weird. But to answer your question is they had
like time.
No, it was time in between when they did it and when they aired it. There's not enough time to sync audio and then also put it up because they were literally using the audio that the cameras were picking up for the audio. So that was why. I guarantee that was why. But
it just doesn't make sense that they wouldn't do an actual live stream for such a big event.
We should have been seeing it simultaneously. Like even if it was like 5 a.m. for me, I would have gotten up at 5 a.m. to watch a live stream for Star Wars. I'm a big enough
we're
fan.
That hardcore. Yeah,
100%. So it was a weird choice.
They have to know that everybody's going to see the reveals either from Yakface or one of the other really big Instagram pages like mine or the other Black Series.
Well, it's the same problem. I don't know if you've been spoiled, but there are people that have seen next week's episode of Mando already because that was at Star Wars Celebration, and there are spoilers out there. There are pictures out there from people that saw it, and just show it to us at this point. Like, there's no reason to not show it to us. There are people that have already seen it. Like, just show it. Because
luckily, I haven't seen any spoilers.
I've gotten one thing spoiled, and
is it like a big spoiler or
yes?
Okay, big spoiler.
Kind of mad about it. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm not mad that it happened, although it's. I don't want to get into it, but I'm mad. I'm mad that got a little spoiled there. And I like spoilers. I like spoilers when I choose to be spoiled, not when a spoil gets me. Like I don't want to get got. I want to choose to be gotten, I guess.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if you want to actively seek it out, that's different.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's my choice as opposed to just, having that choice taken away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so we got a lot to cover today. Should we just get into fine additions real quick here?
Absolutely. I'll go first. I'll go first. Right. I don't have a lot.
I have a couple things. So let me make you big.
Out of the basement, hopping in. It's either Justin or Nate. How's it going? Thanks for hopping on. I'm gonna start with
hey, before we go, how do we sound? I just want to ask people like how we sound. So if we don't sound good, I can fix it. But you go now.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
All right, I'll hop in. Let's talk some SH Figuarts Goku here.
Oh.
Look at how amazing this is. This I'm saying it now. This is probably the best figure I own. Like. Of any figure ever? Any figure I own.
Wow.
I feel like this thing, let me grab the accessories. Where are they at?
All right.
Look at all the alt faces it comes with. Alt hands, alt faces. The articulation is immaculate. And maybe that's because I only had the Dragon Stars figures. So I'm comparing them to that too.
It's huge, a huge jump up compared to that.
This is it's like the smoothest articulation I've ever felt. And you can get it in any pose you want.
What accessories did that one come with?
This one came with just the 4 total faces. And then, let's see, 4 alternate pairs of hands.
Okay.
And this is one of the $35 ones.
Yeah. One of my favorite accessories, because they have the Vegeta. I like it when they come with the crossed arms, where you take their arms off and then you put them on so it looks like they're crossing their arms. I think that's the coolest thing.
Yeah, that one's really cool. But I am using this Dragon Stars effect.
Oh, sure.
For the Kamehameha,
Yeah.
But yeah, this is one of the $35 ones that comes with faces and hands.
Should we start a Dragon Ball Z podcast? Because I can't.
We might need to, because I'm getting so back into it. Like I've already pre-ordered and ordered some other Dragon Ball SH.
Oh wow!
I know. And I'm like, wow. I guess it's because Black Series has been slow, so I'm like, I need something else. And then of course, the bomb is dropped this week for Black Series. So
yeah, that's true.
But I've actually been really excited, buying some of these. So I'm really thrilled to have some of those pre-orders, and then just I bought some in stock ones that should be here this week.
Yeah. Did you get the superhero Piccolo?
No, because I haven't seen the movie yet.
Oh well, I mean, you have to see the movie. He's a good Piccolo. You need a Piccolo, dude.
I feel like I need a classic Piccolo.
It's classic enough.
I feel like I need a classic Piccolo.
I know you should get one with the cape. Yeah, well, you need one with the cape too.
Yeah, I did get, and it's a little expensive, but I love. It's one of my favorite characters. It's Kid Gohan in the battle clothes armor.
Oh yeah.
It was $85, but it seems so worth it. It seems
you have a Vegeta coming?
I do not yet. Not yet.
All right.
I need I did pre-order the Super Saiyan one. That's on pre-order right now.
Okay.
That's from when he first turned Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
And it helps that I'm just now watching.
Or are you getting the Androids too? Because they think they just put up Android 19.
See, I don't want to get I'm wary on how deep I want to get into it.
Okay.
I feel like I just want to get characters I really, really like for the shelf. But eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah. People, Star Wars fans are have never seen Dragon Ball Z. What the crap are these guys talking about?
I know. I apologize.
This is a Star Wars podcast. He's talking about Android 19, Kamehamehas. What is happening?
And it's funny because when I did buy some of those Dragon Stars figures, I got 16 message requests when I put them on my story, and 15 of them said, "You're gonna eventually get SH Figuarts," and I replied to a couple of them, and I'm like, "No, they're just a little too expensive." And then here I go. They called.
Here we go.
I fell in the trap. All right, moving on to Star Wars. Let me put this back. There is a little story behind this. I only picked up one of them because I thought that it wasn't legit. But I got this for $5 at Target. Okay. I sent you all the pictures.
That's the Andor Imperial Trooper.
I've been doing this for long enough. I can't even still not good at audio podcasting. The Imperial officer from Ferrix from the Andor series. So I had one in my hand that had the clearance sticker for $13 on it, and then I'm walking and I go around this end cap. It's clearance. There were 3 of these that had a $5 sticker on them. I'm like, there's no way this has to be wrong. So I was like, oh well, I'll go see if like one of them, like if it's legit. Maybe they're just trying to super clear out stock. So I took one of them up there. The guy, low key, was kind of accusing me of putting a sticker on there, and I'm glad I only bought. I'm glad I only bought the one, because I told him, I was like, no, I'll go show you where I found the rest of them. So I walked the employee all the way back to that end cap, because he went back alone first and couldn't find the other ones. So he came back kind of low key accusing me. I was like, no, like, I'm going to go show you. So I went there.
I saw these, yeah.
Yeah, went to that end cap, pulled out 2 more with the $5 sticker on them. He looked up the item code, and it was some, like kitchenware item that was on clearance, but I guess an employee put the wrong sticker on it.
Whoops.
And then he said he'll honor the tag. So I said, well, I'll buy all 3. And then he said, well, we'll only honor the one that you were originally buying, because the intent wasn't to buy the 3. I was like, well, that's bullshit, but whatever. So I got one for $5. That's dope. That's still a good haul.
It's dope. Yeah, you got it.
And
it's so weird how sometimes, you get those people that super care, and you get people like this, they don't get much.
I know.
They're not getting paid enough to care.
That's what I was hoping. Yeah, I was hoping one of them was just going to be like, yeah, just take them all, whatever. 'Cause they can just put the price in. He didn't have to go back
100%.
And look,
No.
And then finally, I know you've had this one from the future a long time ago. I finally got the Mandalorian Season 2, Luke Skywalker. Imperial
what do you think?
I love this figure. I'm super excited for it. I think I'm going to try to print the elevator scene and then get an R2 and have him hold a baby Yoda. The robe is pretty nice, but Hasbro still just can't get the size right on the hoods.
It's so weird. It's like they don't even test them out before they make them. But I'm pretty sure that's the exact same hood and cloak that the
other one.
The 2019 Walmart one came with, just in black or like a dark brown. Yeah. Because the cut and everything is the exact same. But yeah, it does not hang right at all.
I'll see if I can get that to focus. I did like fold in. Come on, focus for me. I did like fold in the hood to make it look a little thicker and sit better. Trying to get it to focus so you can see it. It was focused for a second, but yeah, whatever. But you can see it's like sitting better than it would normally, because I folded it in. So I would recommend anybody like fold it in and maybe try to pin it down or whatever. Yeah, those are my 3 fine additions. Nothing. I did pick up. I don't have them like on the desk with me, but you can probably see I did pick up some of those Hasbro stands. So I got that Boba Fett.
The 3-pack for $15 or whatever.
Yeah, and then I think I did. Which other ones did I do? Oh, the Cad Bane right there, Clone Wars Cad Bane. I put him on a stand. And then
I got a couple of those. They're nice.
They're pretty good quality. For $5 each, you get a 3-pack for $15. Like that's pretty legit.
They just don't really hold anything that's very heavy. Is my only real complaint of it.
Yeah, they're doing a pretty good job on like that Boba Fett though. So I'm not sure I'm not sure if I have anything heavier than that Boba Fett I would hang.
Well, they don't. I will say they don't hold up Mythic Legions very well.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah,
but I guess for Hasbro figures they do.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got. So I'll pass the baton to you.
Yeah, I got a couple things here, but not too many. Basically, I just posted a video. I got all 3 of the publication wave figures. So I got the Dr. Aphra, I got the Scar Trooper Mike, and then I got the Mara Jade. So if you want to see or hear or watch my thoughts on them, they're good. I got I got them all out. Mara and Dr. Aphra.
That looks so good.
She looks great. She's fantastic. Mara and Dr. Aphra they're the Jaina Solo body, which is honestly, for being such an old, like 2016 or so, like release, other than missing butterfly joints on the shoulders, the articulation's incredible. So
that's in our Hall of Fame.
It is, yes. So I got the Jaina or the Dr. Aphra as well. Not my favorite look for her. I prefer the original release, but her head is. I did a kind of a deep dive on screen. It's the exact same head sculpt, but the painting on the new one is a lot better than on the original. So
see, but I haven't pulled the trigger on that one yet because I don't think I really dig the look. But
that's fair. No, honestly, it's not my favorite look. I don't really think that the actual duster thing looks all that great.
Yeah, but Spader Luke, I bet he loves it.
Yeah, he does.
All plastic.
He loves it. But for me, I love Scar Trooper Mike. A lot of people are having trouble with the backpack. I don't have any problems. Like, it's staying on just fine. It's
super loose.
Yeah. No, like I wouldn't hold it by the backpack. Oh, I am.
Look at that.
I'm holding it by the backpack. Like I can move the whole chest piece by the backpack.
I'm not convinced there's even a separate piece.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it is because I'll take it off.
It literally looks like.
Yeah, like I'll take it off. It's just held on by friction because they match the ports on the back. But you do have to kind of like get it lined up really well and kind of press really good to get it to stay. But mine doesn't have any issue staying, and I love it. It's just such a good figure. It's just as fun as Sergeant Creel. So, like, anyway, if you want a fun Stormtrooper to pick up, that's one to pick up right there. Yeah. And then I've got one last figure that I just got like an hour ago, and that is the Indiana Jones Adventure series from Raiders of the Lost Ark. And while I'm not really going to be in on this line, I figured like I need an Indiana Jones. Like I need a Dr. Jones. Yeah. So, and you know what? He comes with so much stuff. It's crazy. So like his bag is removable. He comes with a pistol that goes in the holster. He comes with his whip. He also comes with a rolled up whip that you can put on the holster on the belt. And then he comes with the little idol that he has in the movie. And he comes with the little angel wings for the Ark of the Covenant build-a artifact. But then he also comes with two different sets of hands, like fists, whip holding hands, gun holding hands, idol holding hands. Like the amount of accessories that he comes with is absolutely nuts. Coming from the same team that does the Star Wars figures, like the same people that made this, made that. So, when people are like, oh, they're just so lazy, like it's not laziness. They know what they can do. It's 100%.
Budget, yeah.
It's budget. And my guess, and we were talking about this in our chat earlier, it's that the Indiana Jones license does not cost nearly as much as the Star Wars license, because that is like, this guy is 100% brand new tooling. You can't say that any of this stuff came from any other figure, because
he still has a ton of accessories.
And he still has a ton of accessories, plus a Build-A-Figure piece. Like, I mean, come on. Yeah, it's crazy.
And I think I mentioned this either last podcast or the one before, but I feel like we need to start blaming Lucasfilm / Disney a little more than
for sure.
A little more than Hasbro.
Easily.
Because that license is probably a little too expensive.
Yeah.
And we're the ones that are suffering from it.
Yes. I think Lucasfilm has put a lot of stipulations and rules and things like that on the figures as well, because they have to approve everything. So I really think a lot of it comes down to that relationship with Lucasfilm and the restrictions they put on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Indiana Jones, because I was planning on, or whenever they announced the line, I was like, you know what, I'll get an Indiana Jones. And then I saw the ones they revealed, and I was like, yeah, maybe. Like, so I was kind of, one step in, or 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So I decided not to get any. But then I think today they revealed the version from like my favorite scene in any movie of all time, because Harrison is like one of my favorite actors. It's which I don't really know. I think it might be Temple of Doom. I'm not sure, but it's whatever scene where the guy they're in the desert and the guy's doing the sword thing.
Oh, it's like, the Cairo one. It's the Cairo. Yeah.
He was like sick, so he couldn't film the scene that they had.
Yes.
He was like, how about I just he pulls out the gun and shoots him.
Yeah.
Like, I think they revealed that. So I think that's
to get that, and then if they ever do like the big guy or whatever, like that's a nice little scene to have.
Yeah.
On the shelf. I was actually asked, like, are we going to cover any of the Indiana Jones figures? And I told him no, because like it's not Star Wars, and we're a Star Wars podcast. And I personally, I have no intention of getting into this line other than this Indiana Jones that I got. Like, I can't collect another line, and I only really care about Indiana Jones. So I don't think that will really cover it. But if we ever buy some, we'll mention it, I guess.
I think that's the extent of my coverage on it. Is I saw that one and I was like, that's one of my favorite scenes in any movie of all time. So I feel like I have to have that on the shelf because I've literally pulled that up on YouTube to show my wife how funny that scene is.
I do think it's kind of crazy. Like the line isn't even 4 months old, 3 months old or whatever, and they've already announced like 6 different Indiana Jones figures.
Yeah, I saw Dan's tweet about it. This has to be a record for the same character announcements in a certain time frame.
Like it's seriously because from Raiders of the Lost Ark, this one there's the map room. So there's the original one, the map room one, and then the Cairo one, and that's 3 figures just from one movie. Then we have.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, and then they just announced a deluxe version today that comes with, it's the same one that I just got, but it comes with like the little idol stand or whatever. And then there's the one from Temple of Doom. There's the one where he's on the bridge with the machete. Then there's the one where he's possessed. So there's 2 from Temple of Doom. They've got the Professor one already announced as well from Raiders or Last Crusade, and then they announced another one from Last Crusade as part of the pipeline today. So that's like 7 Indiana Jones figures within less than 3 months. Like, and is that it's bonkers?
Is one of those the white suit one?
Yes, I'm sorry. They actually also today announced the one from the Dial of Destiny from the newest movie coming out. So that's 8 Indiana Jones figures that we know of that are going to come out within like 6 months.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
They are really cool, though. I'm clicking through these ones right here. They are.
I might pick up a short round. He's got cloth goods, like a cloth goods shirt.
I'm looking at the jacket now. Yeah. Lane Speeder Luke would hate that jacket.
He would hate it.
He would hate that jacket.
Yeah. I think I do want to get the Templar Knight, and I do want to get a Henry Jones Sr. because The Last Crusade is hands down easily my favorite. I don't care about getting any of the Nazi guys. I don't care about getting Brody. I don't even, as much as I like John Rhys Davies, I don't want a Sala. Like I just want Indiana Jones and maybe a short round. If they do like a Temple of Doom minecart, like if it comes like an Indiana Jones that comes with a minecart, I might get that just because it's kind of fun. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not in on the line by any means. I'm not gonna collect the whole thing to get an artifact or whatever. It's just
the line.
Something. Yeah,
it's like a temporary line, right? Like a limited run.
I don't think so.
Line. I thought they announced it. See, I feel like whenever they announced the line, they announced it was only going to be X amount of figures total.
Oh, I didn't
hear that. Done with it. Why do I feel like I've heard that? I'm pretty sure that's the case. But
okay,
if somebody's in the chat, if you've heard that or if you haven't heard that, let me know because I feel like they said that, or I could just be crazy and assumed. I have absolutely no idea. Yeah. I just feel like they said it was a limited run.
I have no idea. Should we get into Star Wars though?
Yeah. I was up to say, how far can you go with Indy though?
Well, that's the thing is you're right. I mean, there's not like they could start doing young Indiana Jones, I guess, from that TV show.
Yeah.
I've got no idea. They haven't done anything really
because you can't do a lot of villains because they're not going to put that Nazi logo on anybody.
Yeah, they could change it or just
they could put a red stripe. But they're definitely not doing the Nazi logo. That's for sure.
Yeah, probably not.
But yeah, Star Wars. Let's get back to
we're a Star Wars podcast. Maybe we should talk Star Wars. I think, well, first of all, I'm going to bring up this and I'll let you talk about, I would consider the biggest / most surprising news of the week.
Yeah, absolutely the most surprising news. The plastic window is returning for Black Series, and that not only Black Series, but that's going to be all of their brands like G.I. Joe Classified, Power Rangers, Marvel Legends. So the official press release reads, we want to share an update on our packaging Hasbro 6-inch scale figures based on your feedback, which AKA, and there's a big parentheses that's invisible, that says, based on our bottom line, Close parentheses. We will be
Flash a bunch of whining and complaining.
Yeah. We will be reintroducing windows and blisters to our 6-inch fan figures beginning later this year into 2024. And then it's those brands that I mentioned. This will eventually expand to all new 6-inch figure releases. And then it goes in to say it'll be made from bio, PET, or recycled material, which it was already like that. This is just like a PR thing they added on at the end. So I did not expect plastic to return at least this fast.
Not this fast. Yeah, I expected we'll eventually do it, but I did not expect to be within the year for sure.
Rest in peace, plastic-free packaging, 2023 to 2023.
Yeah,
What a short run it was. We barely knew ye.
There was and for the people listening, if you got offended by my whole whining, like it was a joke, guys. I was just teasing. But there was one, the Sunny channel, it's a YouTube channel. I follow him on Twitter. He posted a thing and says, "Yo, Sunny, peep the game, fool." It's like from Hasbro. It's like the letter they sent to people. Which some people thought because it put their name in it, that it was like specifically them, like they were the reason that
there was one specific person.
There was one person. Yeah, we're not going to say any names though. But anyway,
you can DM me and I'll tell you.
Yeah, peep game, fool. You know how we were all like save the planet haters, and then chunk deuce to plastic. These earth hating Funko Pop collecting smell their own fart haters started dissing us. Anyways, long story short, we're bringing back plastic. Screw the baby seals, screw the whales, screw the dead dinosaurs that created fossil fuel for us to make plastic, because window packages are coming back. Oh, but don't tell anybody. I thought that was a little funny thing that he posted. Like it was a personal message that he got from Hasbro. Because that was my first thought. It was like, oh, I guess, screw the planet then, because that while we all know that wasn't really the real reason. I'm not saying it wasn't a reason. Like, I'm not saying it's not a good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, things can happen for more than one reason, people. I personally did not care about plastic-free packaging versus the plastic packaging.
It grew on me big time.
But I agree. After getting it, I kind of like the opening experience a lot better than I liked from the plastic ones.
Especially for us sort of content creators, because it's whenever you get a figure like this, you have to keep it in the package until you're ready to film your unboxing of it.
Correct.
But with this Luke, I was able to open it day one. I did a TikTok or Instagram live, I think, opening it. And then I was able to film my TikTok video of the box and then do an effect, and then it's open. So I didn't have to wait to unbox it for the video.
Yeah, I know. For creators, it's hands down better, 100%.
Yeah, but the PFP really grew on me. Whenever they first announced it, I wasn't the biggest fan, and then I opened up to it. But I really like the sleek design. I think I would prefer the window, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, buying doubles is back on the menu for me if I want to keep one, on the shelf in box. But that's only for just rare special occasions. But yeah, that's
so inbox collectors, you collect your big W today because you deserve it. You earned it. This is for you. You are the people that were most affected by this. Obviously, even though like you said, I grew to like the PFP packaging as well. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, because I open it, it's not the big deal. I wasn't affecting my collecting either way. So the people that were like, well, I'm not buying it because it's destroying the reason I bought it, I get that. And congratulations, you're getting it back.
Yeah. And
the only sucky thing for you is they're probably not going to release any of what they've already released. Again,
it'd be neat if they did a Pulse exclusive limited run on some of the things, but
maybe.
I'd rather they just put the resources to something else.
I doubt it. I
do want to say that you mentioned that you want them to, because they mentioned they're still looking at, they're experimenting ways to bring it back. Because it's not going to be a full window and
I don't think
full plastic tray insert, I don't think. And then Mr. Stevie on Instagram in the comments, he said they're looking at ways to limit the plastic on the inside. And then also, but have the window, but limit the amount of plastic. Because I don't want but the helmet's warping or the blaster's bending left and right. The cardboard and the plastic wrap, as like sometimes cheap as it felt opening it, it was nice, and you didn't have to deal with a bunch of plastic, and your weapons and helmets aren't warped anymore. Yeah. So that's like a con of going back to plastic.
Yeah, I am much vastly, and this is objectively true, pulling accessories out of the paper bag was infinitely better than trying to pry them out of those stupid little the plastic trays. Because I have 100%. Bent or warped so many accessories trying to push them out of those little vacuum sealed trays, because there's not enough room to get it around the plastic or anything. So it's objectively a better experience for accessories at the very least. So I still want them to come like maybe taped to the back side of the box out of the way of the window or something like that, where they're in there, but you don't need to see them. You don't need to see the accessories.
I wonder do you think people would be mad if it's essentially, let me grab this box again. If it's essentially this, but it has like a small little window from like the chest to the face, how mad do you think people? You think that?
I think it's not what they want. No, what people want is just the exact same thing they already had. That's what people want. And if it's anything less than that, they're still gonna be mad. And so I expect this to actually be bad for both sides. Honestly,
so I do want to say, so now that, remember whenever they announced plastic free packaging, everybody was saying, oh, they're swapping is going to be like off the wall, swapping is going to be
terrible. Not any worse than it already was. The only difference is
is that 100% fixed now? Did they fix swapping?
No.
Oh, they didn't?
No, people are still going to swap stuff.
This whole time?
They swapped before when there was a window. I can go to the Walmart down the street from me, and there will be at least 2 swapped figures on the shelf, because there's a notorious swapper in my area, and Walmart doesn't care, and they'll just sit on the shelves. Like, they'll just be on the shelves for months until either someone buys it or someone figures it out, or I don't know.
Yeah, swapping has been around forever. It unfortunately will be around forever. But at the end
there's
of the day,
always going to be poor people who don't
necessarily.
Unscrupulous poor people.
There you go. Yeah. But I will say, back on the menu,
boys.
Revenge of the Sith, 20th anniversary, 2025. Yeah. 20th anniversary.
That was never off the menu. They always were going to
do. Whenever they announced that special limited packaging, but it's even more back on the menu now, because
it's even backer.
We'll talk about it later. Because
it's even menuer now.
Yeah, it's like second page now.
Yeah.
So I can't really talk about that. But yeah, plastic is back.
Plastic is back, baby.
Return of the plastic.
Yep. So,
but I say we jump into some reveals.
Black Series reveals. It is time. We're gonna start with Mando Mania reveals from the last week or two. Number 1. We got the Pike Soldier.
If you're in the chat, let us know what you think of each figure that we put up.
Oh, yeah. We will read it. Yeah. What do you think of the Pike Soldier? This is a pipeline figure that we knew was coming.
I think this is pretty cool. I'm definitely in on at least one. My only complaint is I wish it came with swappable faceplate, like a silver one or a bronze one.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it looks incredible.
Yeah.
It looks like a complete new tool, of course. I'll at least have to get... I'm probably in on one, and then like a second one on a sale, potentially. But how many are you in on this?
At least one. So this is going to be in the same wave as the Tusken Chieftain that we already talked about. And it's going to be packaged 2 per case. So there's only going to be 4 new figures in that wave. And this like the Chieftain, isn't going to come out until the beginning of 2024. So basically a year from now. But I feel like it'll be easy to army build him, because he is going to be packed 2 per case.
Yeah, and he's not like the most sought after character or anything. Because
I definitely want one, because I like having aliens. Yeah.
Yeah, most people do prefer, I think, the Clone Wars look. And then I guess people are like salty from the show, but that's not going to stop me from getting a Pike soldier. I feel like I need a Pike soldier.
Yeah, I don't understand. I get not liking the show, but Pikes are in other things. Like Pikes are just part of Star Wars. But because Hasbro put the Book of Boba Fett on there means you're mad at it, even though like it's a Pike. Like this is clearly a Pike.
Yeah, they're in Solo too, aren't they?
They're in Solo as well. Absolutely. So it's like so he comes with 2 blasters here. Which is
I like he has like nice little like red and was that silver? Is that like a silver color on his chest?
Yeah, I think so.
It looks like in that picture. Yeah,
he looks 100% new. Like the legs look new as far as I can tell. Obviously there's a new overlay. Maybe the arms are like Grief Karga arms. Maybe.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't even necessarily care if like legs and arms are reused as long as they're modern.
Yeah,
and they
exactly.
If I look at the figure and I don't see like, oh, he's using General Grievous arms. If it's something out of the box, you know, if I look at it,
Boba.
Yeah, if I look at it, it's modern and it doesn't like throw me off that those are clearly like Darth Vader arms, you know, then it's like perfect in my book. But I do like the belt. We got the silver and the brown on the belt, which is nice. Yeah, I think it's a solid release, personally, especially for Mando Mania.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm down. So, you know, standard release. He's already up for pre-order if you want to pre-order him. Not coming out till next year, so you got lots of time. Lots of time. I'm definitely in for one. I might pick up another one if they go on sale, but I probably won't double dip right away.
Definitely not. Especially with like the trend of recent releases
for sure.
and it being double packed.
Yeah,
you know, this is it. It's going to be $14.99 on Amazon in 8 months. So that's when I'm going to wait for my second one.
Yeah,
but
I got a couple pictures here. There we go. All right.
There we go. So let's talk about let's save the rant for the end. Of the Chrysanthemum talk.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But look at this
Chrysanthemum.
Beefy, bulky boy. This is what we've been wanting ever since the comic version was released.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is the version we wanted before the comic. We actually talked about that on our show when I was like, I pleaded before they announced it, I pleaded like, don't just paint Chewbacca black. We need a brand new, thick, unique Wookiee body for Chrysanthemum. And then they gave us a Chewbacca repaint. But, you know, we've come to terms with that as a show where we recognize that obviously due to the time frame and stuff, that was in the works before the show was a thing. Like, I'm giving it a pass in terms of that. But I do appreciate Hasbro for making it right.
Yeah. I feel like, was it you that talked to him whenever you were at Comic-Con in San Diego? Did they tell you that they felt that they sort of not messed up but may have released the other Chrysanthemum at the wrong time because they didn't know he was going to be in the show?
For sure. Yeah. They had they didn't know. They didn't know anything about Book of Boba Fett. And it's very obvious they didn't know anything because the first 2 figures that we had in the line were clearly Mandalorian figures that they slapped on a Book of Boba Fett box at the last minute. Like it was not something planned. And you can also tell, someone else pointed out, like if they had really just, last minute, real quickly made a Chewbacca black and tossed in a box, they would have done the same thing with him. They would have put him in a Book of Boba Fett box if they were really trying to make that a Book of Boba Fett Black Chrysanthemum, but it specifically wasn't a Book of Boba Fett Black Chrysanthemum. Like that had been part of the publication comic wave for probably a year before that. And the fact that we're just now, over a year after Book of Boba Fett finished airing, getting characters from the show announced, like they're not even out yet. They're just to the point where they can show them off. Yeah. That's how long it takes them to make a figure. It takes a year to a year and a half to produce a figure and get it to us. So that checks with them going like, oh crap, like we got to make this right now, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like they wanted to get Black Chrysanthemum right. Yeah, and they absolutely did a 180, and they gave us the Chrysanthemum we deserve. He's got a full wash on him to really bring out the details.
Is he black enough for you? It's a weird question.
This is a weird question.
It's a weird question. But he's, in the comics, he's black chrysanthemum. But But famously on the box for here, he's just chrysanthemum.
Because in the show, they only called him chrysanthemum.
They call him Sando or just chrysanthemum.
I think the lights on these promo pictures are really bright because he does look a little darker in those on display shots at Star Wars Celebration. And I think so. I think the wash gives him really good detail. Yeah. So I think the color is really, really good. Even if it is a little lighter, even on display, it's like even darker than these images.
Yeah.
And then the wash on like the gold armor plates and the belt.
The armor plates look
and the
so
face.
good. Yeah.
Like the detail on his chest piece and then the wash on him. And he has really nice, like a wash on the face so you can really get those details out.
Yep.
He's got the cool teeth. You can see the teeth. I'm so in on this figure. I've got it pre-ordered already. I actually canceled my Luke and Grogu build-up pack. Oh, really? Well, I canceled it on Amazon so I could pre-order it on Entertainment Earth with this and then do the $59 free shipping and use my Entertainment Earth link because I get a higher percentage back.
Of course.
Through them. But yeah, I am so excited. Like, we get paint on the blaster. How many Black Series figures lately in modern, history, last couple years, where we just get blasters and there's no paint, even if it is on a newly tooled figure. Yeah, like we get the red dots right there. We get it looks like almost like a wash on it, and then we get the silver and blue paint on the tip. This looks like it's beautiful.
So this is just to lay it out. This is 100% brand new tooling. Every bit. There's zero reuse. The feet, the lower legs, the thighs, the torso, the armor, the blaster. Nothing's ever been used before or existed before this figure.
He's even got like a little storage box on his hip and then like a braid that hangs down. Yep. It's beautiful.
So for the people that are like, well, how come we're getting this so close after the last one? This, I don't know, pay attention more. Like, I've seen a lot of people wonder that. Like, how come we're getting another one? They're already reusing, like, oh my God. Like, what is wrong with you?
There's some people that just don't pay attention out there.
They don't pay attention. No.
It's always the same people in the comments, too.
It really is. I'm excited about this. For me, instant pre-order as well. He's not perfect. I would have liked a little bit more. Now, so they originally, when they announced this, they said he was going to be $39.99. Or at least Yak Face said that. And then that was quickly...
I was still in day one.
Same. I was still in $40. Yeah.
I felt that was a little high, but I was still in on it.
Yeah. It wasn't enough for me to not buy it. I wasn't happy about it, but I want chrysanthemum more than I wanted that like couple bucks or whatever. So they backtracked and just, now he's just the regular price of a normal deluxe figure. And there's some people $33.99. There's some people complaining that he's a deluxe, thinking that he shouldn't be. And I just don't agree with that. Honestly, I think there is a point to where, a big figure does cost more than a normal figure. Now, I wish the opposite of that were true. Like, I wish smaller figures cost less. Like the Grogu that they made back in 2020 was, $10 instead of $20 at the time. But, the small droids or the Ewoks, those have been regular price, and that sucks. And I wish that those cost less. But I 100% understand they're like, okay, this is a really big, bulky figure. He's going to cost more just because of the amount of paint and raw plastic that he takes to make. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, and the scar, I think, let me look at this in hand. I'm not sure if the scar is there or not. I don't see it personally. Do you see the scar on his face?
No, but honestly, again, these are prototype images that the ones they've got coming up. And even the ones that you see like at Celebration, those are still prototypes. But the scar is the one thing like I'm not really seeing. So again, he's not perfect.
Yeah, and there are, speaking of it not being perfect, I do, before we mention that, I do want to mention the size of him. People are complaining that he's not tall enough.
So I've got it right here. He's 6.9 inches.
Yeah, look at that. You got this. Nice.
Oh, I came prepared, man. I came prepared.
And if you look at that, there's pictures on display. You can actually go on my Instagram account, and I posted the picture of him standing next to the Luke in the line, and it looks very close to this. Like, he looks like he's legit.
So yeah, if you go back and actually watch Book of Boba Fett and see him standing next to other people, he's only like a foot taller. I don't know where people are like, oh, he's an 8 foot tall Wookiee. Where? Who said that? You go on Wikipedia right now, it doesn't say that. The only thing I've seen that says that is a random article that people are citing, but they don't say where they got that from. They're just, as far as I know, they pulled that number out of their ass. He's not 8 feet tall. I don't even think he's taller than Chewbacca, honestly. So here's another picture I got.
I feel like Chewbacca's taller. He's like more lanky.
Taller and lankier. Yeah, he's taller and lankier. But here's another picture I got of him lifting Boba off the ground, and you can see, there's only like a foot.
About a foot. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I got these pictures here of the reveal, and you can just see
he's so big. Look how big
he is compared to Eric and Emily. He's the size of like Emily's upper arm. He's a beefy boy.
I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait to get this one.
Yeah.
He was probably, other than like the 40th, like R2 and Vader.
Yeah.
He was probably my most looked forward to pipeline figure we had.
Sure.
Obviously up until today, because he's not pipelined anymore recently.
He's not pipelined anymore. Yeah, that's right.
Because he was pipelined for a while.
Yeah, there are a couple things. There's one thing I'm worried about. And that is every time you see a picture of him holding his gun, they've never shown a picture of him like holding it like a rifle, aiming it. Yeah.
Just kind of holding arm articulation might be. I hadn't even thought about that.
So I'm a little worried about the arm articulation, but the biggest thing for me is for being a deluxe, like I feel like he should come with like an extra set of hands, like that are balled and fisted up, like he's gonna punch somebody. Because that's he's like a brawler.
Absolutely.
Like sure he shot, guns and stuff. He did
get in a fist fight in the bar though.
I feel like he got more fist fights. Like he fought Boba Fett in his little chamber hand to hand, He had a fist fight in the bar. Like he's an equal brawler as he is a gunfighter. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he has they've got the knuckles molded onto his hands, the little electric knuckle things, and he's got them. But he's not making fists, and I really would like it if they gave him fist weapons or fist hands. But I wasn't mad about it because I'm like, it's fine. Like we can fudge it. It's not the end of the world. Until
I'm excited for the figure enough to where I'm not mad it didn't come with alternate fists, but I would prefer the alternate fists.
Exactly. It doesn't ruin it. Until today. I was not mad about it until
Hasbro.
Today. So to jump ahead a little bit, one of the reveals today was the TVC version of this. And I'm not mad that TVC is getting one. I think every figure should be in both lines. I don't care about TVC. I don't collect it. But if we get a Black Chrysanthemum in 6-inch, they should have one in the 3.75 inch as well. Absolutely. Why would I ever not want them? Like you getting something doesn't take it away from me. But and this is a big old butt. This is a thick, juicy butt. They gave the TVC version like 100 accessories for being deluxe. He comes with those same alternate hands that this one should come with electricity on the fists. So it's not even like, oh, he's got fist hands. Like they've molded like a energy effect on the fist.
Well, the energy is separate.
Oh, is it separate?
Yeah, so you can have
either way.
You can have the alternate. You can have the fists without the energy, and then you can have the fists with the energy.
That just makes it worse.
I know.
I know. Instead of being one extra accessory, now it's two extra accessories or whatever. So they get fist hands plus energy effects for the fist hands, plus a mug that he had in that one random scene, and a freaking Melu Run fruit that he had at the end of the show. So, and I don't really super care about the mug or the Melu Run as much as I would like them for just stupid reasons. It's fine, whatever. But those fists and energy effects actively make me mad.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't understand why we wouldn't get those in TBS. Like, is it really to the point where they're like, they actually think of 6-inch figures as more of collectible items rather than quote unquote toys? You know, because if it's a collector's item, maybe you wouldn't need, you know, all these accessories in it. Or
but I still want them because I want to display them that way.
I don't understand why they wouldn't give us at least the energy effects. Because now, whenever we want our Chrysanthemum to be punching somebody like a trained ocean, he's gonna be doing a trigger finger for a hand.
It's stupid. It's so,
like our Jedi do.
Here's the thing: I would have gladly paid $40 if he came with alternate hands and the energy effects for him. Wouldn't have even considered not doing it. Like if they were like, okay,
I didn't even consider not paying $40 for just this whenever they said 100%. It was $40, you know,
100%. But if they were like, oh, hey, sorry, we'll include them, but it's gonna bump the price up. Fine. Here's an extra $6 for hands and energy effects. No problem. I just want them. Like there's no reason to not get them, especially because they're in the vintage collection version. So it's not even like they didn't think about it. You know, like what the heck?
They have the molds. They have the designs in their sips, in their software.
You can't tell me that there's that much difference in whatever budget that they use for figures where they couldn't give us two little hands. You know, like it just
and it makes me think like for TVC, is it really that those extra fists and the electro effect, is it really just such a minute amount of plastic that it barely matters to the point where we can't get them in Black Series because it would cost more? Like, would it really cost that much more? They couldn't squeeze it in a $34 figure, you know? Like, come on.
I can't imagine that it's that much more. And obviously, I don't know. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, we don't have the answers.
I don't see their spreadsheets. I don't see their bottom line. But like,
I would love to, but
I know, me too. But like, you know, you see it and you're like, why don't? I'm not mad that they're getting one. I want them to have one, but I don't want theirs to be that much better than mine. If it just came with the extra little mug and the fruit, I'd be like, fine. I don't care about that stuff. I do care about fist hands and energy effects though. And he 100% should have that.
The only issue, Jose, that I would have with Mafex or SH Figuarts Chrysanthemum would be, I feel like you would see too much of the joints and articulation.
That's always a problem.
I feel like Hasbro does a better job of hiding some of those joints.
Well, maybe even detrimentally though, because like, you know, if he can't
bend his arms, yeah. But to be fair, the people who pose these figures, because a lot of times we see the promo shots, they're in some terrible poses a lot of the time.
It depends on who's taking the picture.
It depends on who's taking the picture, but a lot of times we see, less so lately.
Yeah. But we've seen if Matt's doing it, you know, they're usually pretty good.
Yeah, like it used to be just like, and like people pose them just don't really know how to pose. Like this pose right here, you gotta hold that blaster a little better. Come on now, have some awareness. But you know, we know some of these poses aren't the best that they do. So hopefully I think that one where he's like on display was pretty good. I'm gonna look that up real quick. It looks like he's kind of in a running pose.
Yeah.
Let me click on my page real quick and then here we go. Well, I posted a lot. Yeah, he's kind of like walking forward a little. Yeah, he's still not aiming it though. Yeah, I'm really excited for Chrysanthemum though.
Still excited. Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from my excitement for this figure. Very much looking forward to getting him.
That's just a note we had to throw in there though.
He's coming out at the end of this year. So he's up for pre-order already. He's coming out at the end of this year. So we'll get him sooner than we'll get basically anything we've seen so far from Book of Boba Fett, which is nice.
Yeah, for sure. There was something I was going to say, but it left my mind just now, so we'll move on.
We'll move on to now we're moving into the actual reveals from today. So the Pike Soldier and Black Chrysanthemum were Mando Mania reveals. So today they started out the gate with the 40th anniversary third wave of 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi figures. And they started off with the most boring one just to get out of the way, which I appreciate.
The Royal Guard.
That's right. So it's just it's a straight re-release. They've said that.
Yeah, it's for the carded people, I think.
Yeah,
you know,
100%. Yeah.
I have 2 on my shelf right now, so I think I'm good next to the Emperor.
Yeah, I probably won't pre-order one. I've got enough of them for sure.
Here we go.
Let's move on. Let's just move on to the big
and
one.
before we do, I think most of these go on pre-order April 11th. So by the time you hear this,
unless we say otherwise, it'll be April 11th.
Yeah,
this is going to go up
at 1
today.
p.m. Eastern.
This is going to go up.
Yeah, this will be up today. You just take the raw audio from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, April 11th at 1 p.m. Eastern time, I believe. That all these will be up for pre-order.
So the next thing they showed off was a new Darth Vader from Return of the Jedi. So it's the first Return of the Jedi Vader since 2014, all the way back in the very first wave of Phase 2 of the Black Series figures, back at the blue line. They came out with a removable helmet Darth Vader, and now they're updating it. So we're getting I don't think they said, but I'm guessing it's the Empire Strikes Back body.
Yeah, it's definitely not. My source was correct, obviously, because my source kind of is the source. You know, is like. Well, I'm not gonna go into.
Don't go into.
Not 100% new.
No,
like I said months ago. You know, can I be a hater for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not feeling the helmet.
You're not feeling it, huh?
I'm not feeling the helmet.
I think I am in some, and I'm not. Like the one in the lower left, I like when you're looking at it kind of straight on. But I feel like there's still too much of because it's removable. I feel like there's still too much of a gap between that mouthpiece and then the triangle piece. It's supposed to be just one. You know, I feel like the alternate head would have been so much better. And I agree 100%.
I feel like there is just a little bit of a gap. Like the one on the top right looks good, I think. But like I feel like the one on the bottom left, you can see like the gap. And maybe it's not sealed, like closed all the way. Maybe that's more of the post.
Closed all the way, yeah.
But in all the pictures, it seems like there is a little bit of a gap there. And then the lenses. Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi has very jet black. It's like the most black his lenses are in any of the 3 films, other than like Revenge of the Sith. But for the original trilogy, you know, they're kind of like the auburn color or whatever or the amber color in, you know, A New Hope. And then they're darker in Empire, but in Return of the Jedi, they're like jet black. And then they still went with the sort of the dark brownish like lens for this. And I was a little nervous when they announced the TVC Return of the Jedi Vader and it had the, you know, brownish lens. And I was like, oh, well, I hope they don't do that for Black Series. But we don't get a solid black lens here. So I think, I'm going to try to pose him without the helmet anyways. So it's not going to be the biggest deal. But I would have liked the jet black, you know, lenses and then a helmet that you can like actually seal. So that's just my little hater. Little hater thing there. But I'm still in on it. I'm still looking forward to it.
I'm definitely getting I'm happy to finally retire that old puppy dog helmet Vader from 2014. He's garbage. Easily I'm going to put him back in the box he came with, and he's going to go in the garage I'm
probably going to sell mine. I bought him like 3 months ago. I'm probably going to sell my Jabba the Hutt too.
Well, we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into
spoilers. Yeah. But yeah, so we have he comes with the removable helmet. Honestly, the face underneath the helmet looks fantastic, though. I will say that. Like,
I like
with
the face.
helmet, with the helmet off, that face looks incredible. I also love that it's not just a removable hand, but it's a whole new arm that you pull off and put on. This is the first Darth Vader that we've gotten in the Black Series that comes with more than just a lightsaber. And that's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yeah.
It is a huge deal.
I mean, obviously the helmet
I was about to say,
and stuff, but the original one came with that. I'm talking about other stuff, like other hands and things, you know.
Yeah. And that one, what do they call those, where he comes with the base and the Tainted 4 hallway? That doesn't count.
That doesn't count. That's not a figure. That's a centerpiece.
Statue. Yeah. Centerpiece, that's what they call them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love and they said that it has a painted like silver and I guess maybe the painted wires coming out of the wrist for when you do.
Yes. They have painted wires coming out. Version. Yeah. So it looks like an actual like cutoff. It's not just because the Emperor's Wrath Vader has a removable hand as well, but like it doesn't look good and it kind of ruins the articulation of the figure. So again, this is a completely different nubbin that you pull off and put on, and I think that is cool.
Yeah, but I'm still 100% in on this.
Yep.
I might get one of these to keep on card also.
Well, because all of these are going to come on card, and then they're going to come on the box, because they do that every time where they release them as part of the mainline wave. So I feel like there are people, if you want this to be in box, maybe the card's the way to buy it.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Because I do need at least one Return of the Jedi figure in card, and I want to do the Emperor and have Ian sign it at ICCC, but I feel like I'm not going to get it in time, so I got to pick one of the Return of the Jedis to have on card to have that on the shelf. But yeah, those are all my thoughts on the Vader.
Yeah, so the next reveal we got was another partial new, but a more recent figure. We have the Final Duel Luke Skywalker, who, so I took out my Mando Luke, and I sort of, did a little deep dive, looking at all the different folds and creases, trying to figure out exactly what's new and exactly what's reuse. So,
you got the breakdown? Let's do it.
So from what I can tell, the face is the same, but the hair is new.
The hair looks a lot better.
The hair looks a lot better. The arms and the legs are the same, and probably the torso, like the waist part, is the same, but the torso is brand new. So the only new parts on this figure are the torso and the hair. Pretty much, from what I can tell. Everything else, and obviously the belt, because the belt is part of the torso.
Yeah, and
as well.
Yeah, I feel like the way the hair is on this figure, the Return of the Jedi one that we're looking at, it makes the likeness better than on this Mando Season 2 version. Because
as far as I can tell, though, they have the exact same facial expression as the Mando version.
Yeah,
like I don't think it's different.
Yeah, it probably is the same, and I'm looking at it now and trying to do a comparison to this. I think the hair on that one just makes the likeness a little better.
Agreed. Yeah.
But for that, I'm going to have the hood on this one anyways. So,
yeah. So he comes with the same thing the original 2014 version came with, where the front piece comes off and you can replace it with one with the little flap down. And that's always a fun accessory. Like I like it to do that.
This is awesome because the version from the blue box is just like really expensive. So people,
it's also not good. It's not a good figure.
It's also terrible. So people haven't been able to have the flap version of Luke in a long time. And I sold mine when I got out a long time ago. Yeah, so I'm excited.
This has all new articulation. We're talking butterfly joints. We're talking deep elbows. We're talking the newer legs. Like this is everything you could want in a new figure.
Yeah. So are we going back to last episode title? Are we over Luked at this point now?
Oh, we knew this was coming, but you're right. It is another Luke Skywalker. Yeah, I don't know. You're not wrong.
We need to take a little bit of a break after.
No, I feel like after this one, between the Mando Luke we just got, the Book of Boba Fett Luke we're getting, and then this Luke, I think they could stop with Luke's for like a year, maybe a year and a half.
Well, whatever Luke, like if Luke ends up popping up in Mandalorian or Ahsoka or something, then let's get that.
No. I still feel like there's time. Like they can give us that later. There's so many other characters that I really want to get.
Unless he's wearing a different color.
No, stop it. We're good on. We are. I love Luke Skywalker, but I feel like we really are good on Luke's for a little bit. Like I would love for them to do this figure in the indoor set. I would love for them to do this figure as more of the Jabba's Palace thing, but I don't want them now. Like I feel like I'm good. I've got my quota. I don't need them right now.
You know why we need more Lukes? Is because every time I post a Luke affiliate link, they sell like hotcakes.
Yeah, and that's why. No, you're probably right. Because people want Luke Skywalker.
People buy, like whether you believe it or not, people buy Luke like crazy. And every time I post an affiliate link with Luke on it, tons of people buy it.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
So Hasbro sees that obviously, for their sales.
Yeah. So the next figure.
There we go.
I'll give you this one.
There we go.
Yeah.
Brand new R2D2.
Brand new.
Let's effing go. And what a surprise
What a surprise.
What a surprise that this figure has, and that could potentially lead to something else, which we'll discuss in a second. But 100% new, all new from the ground up, R2-D2. You can use this as a prequel mold or figure. You can use this as original trilogy. We didn't get the drink serving table, but that's okay.
I really wanted it. I want it. But you know what they said about this is they added ports and stuff on here for future proofing this, which I appreciate.
That's really awesome.
They're taking this mold and thinking about the future with it, which I think is very smart.
Yeah, absolutely. And he just comes with tons of accessories. Do you have another
So
slide?
he's scaled to size, appropriately sized. So on the first little slide here, he has his little periscope thing that pops up that he used in Empire Strikes Back when he was underwater and whatnot. And then on the second slide here, he's got his little radar dish thing. He's got the 2 opening doors on the side, and there's 4 arms that go on that, which is cool.
He even has his "I'm about to rob you" mofo.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. I know what you're going to say. Yeah.
He has a gun. He has a blaster.
He has a little blaster. Yeah.
Why does he have a blaster?
I'm not complaining. It's fun. Shut up.
I mean, I'm not complaining either.
Yeah.
But like, is this something that I'm missing? Did he pull out a gat in any Star Wars?
I like that he's holding it kind of sideways too.
He's literally holding it like he's at a rob.
He's gangster. he's robbing a 7-Eleven.
Like, this is literally insane. Like, I love it.
No, I have
and
no
I think
idea
it's
what's up with
hilarious.
that. I think it's great though. I don't care.
What
Because
if,
you know
like-
it's extra.
Yeah, it's just freaking hilarious that
Yeah.
they added a blaster in there,
Yeah.
which is awesome. I'm glad that he doesn't come with the Luke saber, but
No, he does
We
not.
have plenty of those,
Yeah.
but he still comes with enough accessories to. I was a little nervous that he wasn't going to have any.
Same.
You know, that
Same.
he would have like 1 or 2, but
Yeah.
he's actually kind of extravagant. He doesn't come with the jet boosters.
He does
Like
not.
the
No,
other-
I don't even know
like
if the
the
side.
other one did.
I don't even know if the side pieces come off. They didn't mention
Yeah,
that.
they might
What they
not.
did mention though was little horizontal flaps on the front open up as well. So I think that's cool. They don't have a picture showing it off, but they said that the little blue horizontal flaps open up. Obviously, the doors on the side open up. They said there's 3 holes on each side, again, for future proofing. So you can have more accessories. I'm assuming for other droids that come with different stuff, like for things like the little gun. But then the one that kind of threw me for a loop, I'm like, what is happening here? Was his whole head assembly pops up. Like it just like it pops up.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why would the head have to pop up like that?
Well, my first thought was, and I should have put a picture of this in here, and I didn't, and that's me failing on my PowerPoint skills. But in the N1 Naboo fighter, the head of the droid pops up and goes up, but the base of the droid stays down. So my first thought, and I put this in the chat, like, that's the only reason I can think of that they would ever do that, is if they're going to make an N1 Naboo fighter so that they can have the droid head pop up and have it stay down and be accurate to the little cutout. But like, I don't know why else they would do that, except for the reason is for storage. It's for accessory storage.
Well, I'm buying what you're selling. Hasbro, I will literally like send you my debit card number and the PIN number and the expiration and the CVV number or whatever it is, the full 3-digit code. I will send you all of that if our theory is true, that this could potentially mean that if you all ever decide to release an N1 for Black Series scale, that this could fit in it.
I'll buy it. Not even a question. Yeah, day one,
like
full price.
They can have my card and just charge however much they want on it. I will take it
easily. Now, here's the question, because we're not talking TVC on this, other than the Black Chrysanthemum, but I did not put anything about this in here. Is the N1 TVC fighter they showed off, the Mando one. I honestly think I might buy that. I honestly do. I think it's a cool, because it comes a little stand. And I'm like, to me, that's not just a vehicle now. That is a display piece. And while it's not the scale I prefer, I think it kind of looks cool.
It is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, this R2 is fabulous. Like, look at even like the if you look at the bronze wires on his foot,
Oh yeah, on the bottom,
like
absolutely.
those are colored to where they actually look like a copper wire or something like that, you know, or like a copper.
I'm a little curious about how the third leg pops out, because obviously with the way that the head pops up, I don't think they have it tied to the head turning anymore.
Yeah, that is interesting because in the middle picture his head is down.
Yeah.
And it's not popped out. So I wonder if it like it clicks in. How is there enough room in this for that big giant silver middle piece and a leg?
Maybe I don't know. Yeah, that's one of those things. Like, I really can't wait to get my hands on this. Honestly, I think it's going to be really, really cool.
It's a little hard to see the scale too. Like, I really want to know.
I want to see
actually in scale.
Yeah. I want to see what it looks like next to like a C-3PO and a Luke Skywalker.
And they did mention they did a lot of research on making sure the proportions are right. But I want to see how it looks next to like a Luke or like an Anakin or something. And there is pictures I have posted on my Instagram of it on display, but it's still hard to tell like how big he is because there's not a figure behind him or next to him,
right?
You know, so it still makes it a little difficult. But either way, I'm pumped for it. I think the paint looks great in this picture on display. The silver really shines. It's not obviously it's not like it's not the like exact for the movies, but it's like pretty shiny. It's like probably as close as you can get. His black eye camera thing where he sees is nice and glossy, even on the picture on display. I'm absolutely thrilled. Those little blue horizontal flaps pop out like you mentioned.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the most looked forward to.
I think of all the reveals today, I think this is the one. This is the one where I'm like, I'm the most in on this for sure.
Needs banana for scale. we need the scale banana for sure.
So here's my question for me: what am I going to do with all my other R2D2s? It
depends.
Do I take them off my shelves? Do I purge all my R2s off?
I might I only have the Empire Dirty like Dagobah version.
Yeah.
So I'll keep that one on until they replace it. But I would 100% love if they redid that if this is true to scale. I would 1,000% take a repaint of that.
So I have the SH Figure Arts one here.
Oh, look at that!
Definitely would love to compare this version to the Hasbro version that's coming out.
So how many accessories does the SH Figure Arts version come with?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you, because I forgot in the boxes somewhere in the closet.
Oh yeah.
But like he's got the little opening flaps and things like that as well, and his is like one of those clicky pins, where it's like you push it in and the third leg pops out. So yeah, I'm really interested to see like how different this one is from the Black.
And
Series
also,
version.
this is only $25. The Hasbro version.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, how many of these are you gonna buy day one? I'm at least getting two of these.
No, I'm just getting one. But like I said before, this will also come out in mainline because that's how these always work. So I'll get this one, and then I'll get a mainline version when it comes out. So I'll have two eventually. To just have in different parts of my collection for sure.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and get two of them because I want it on the prequel shelf and I want it on the next to Luke.
Yeah.
For A New Hope or something like that. I might try to dirty one of them up. Like put some dirt on.
Yeah, put a little wash on it or something.
Some Tatooine dirt or sand on there or something. Because he does look. He does look kind of like a prequel version with it being how clean he is. I was kind of worried with it being
Phantom Menace all the way. Yeah.
I was a little worried that being in the Return of the Jedi packaging, they were going to put like dirt on his feet to have it have him on Endor.
Like Tatooine. Yeah. Or Endor, yeah.
Or Endor for Return of the Jedi. But like, I love how they kept him clean for this.
For sure. So yeah, we have the little mock-ups of the packages coming out. So they're coming out. They have what's interesting to me is the Return of the Jedi R2 has a picture of R2 from Empire Strikes Back. on it, which is
I'm assuming they're using the classic card.
Oh, they always do.
Right?
Yeah. However it was on the shelves. Yeah. They say what you want about Hasbro. They do their research when it comes to packaging, for sure. So
except whenever they forget some names like Connor Jackson.
or
and
but you know, of the 10 years of Black Series figures, like that hasn't happened that many times. There's the Carnor Jax Kyrkanos one, and then there's the Luke Skywalker. That's right.
Walker.
You know, like it's happened 2, maybe 3 times in the last 10 years. For how many figures they've made, like I'm surprised it hasn't happened more, honestly.
Yeah.
So without looking it up, I'm assuming if I go look up, vintage Return of the Jedi R2D2, that is probably the picture they used. I'm like, it just because that's how they've done it. They even put that weird Boba Fett with the weird fake pants on there because that's how that's how the box art looked for that as well.
We're complaining about that, remember?
Yeah, they were like, oh, how come Hasbro drew pants on here? They couldn't do a better job. Like, well, no, they couldn't because they did it back
Kenner didn't.
Because Kenner did a bad job back in 1983 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we haven't talked about this, but they did have on display the Revenge of the Jedi Darth Vader. That's got the red deco on there, which I'm still in on pre-ordering whenever it's available.
I'm wavering on that.
You're wavering on it now?
I'm wavering on it. I just don't know how it would fit in my collection.
Yeah, because it is more of a display piece for the box style rather than a figure.
So if I get it, it's just one of those things I'm going to put in my closet and never look at. So it's like, do I really want it?
And I really don't have the space for it, but I feel like I need that poster, that little carded thing.
So that goes up for people listening. That goes up on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure.
Tuesday's going to be an expensive day for me.
It's an exclusive to the London Star Wars. Yes, Star Wars Celebration London right now. But to buy it, you need an exclusive QR code. But you also physically have to be in London. Like they're not letting anyone outside London buy it. So even if you get a QR code, even if you get a QR code, like if someone sends you one from the thing, like it doesn't work. So Tuesday, those are going up.
And so looking at this slide, you have the Darth Vader packaging. You know how like his dome helmet piece is in that plastic? I'm a little worried that that's going to be warped for a lot of people because there's no.
I don't know why they separated it. I really don't know why they separated it.
It would like prevent warping better if the face was in that, so that way there's less like.
Well, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess we'll see. I'm a little worried about that. Just looking at.
Yeah.
I feel like that because that plastic is going to shrink around it. It's going to squeeze that helmet a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
My prediction didn't come true. Remember, I predicted a prequel Yoda. But
that's true.
We didn't get it.
Yeah, you're right. We didn't get a prequel Yoda, but we did get that. We did get a Yoda.
The Holy Ghost is here.
That's right.
And that's Anakin Skywalker, Force Spirit. Well, let's just talk about the set first. We'll talk about the set first. We got the Force Spirit 3-pack. We got the Anakin, the Yoda, and the Obi-Wan. The Hasbro woman who announced this, she was incorrect when she said this is the first time we're getting the photo reel Ben Kenobi. This is the second time because they did the photo reel for the Cantina deluxe set,
I think they meant for this version.
Well, I guess for the I thought she meant like the face in general.
No, I think they mean for the Ghost one because the last time was released that it was not photo reel.
Yeah, I took it as the first time we got a Kenobi, like a Ben Kenobi.
Yeah,
but I guess I might have misheard. But we do get the photo reel Ben Kenobi. We got the newer mold Yoda that comes with
the small one. Yep,
the Jedi Training Dagobah set with Luke Skywalker, and we got an Anakin Skywalker with the Hayden Christensen head sculpt.
Well, and it's not just that, but as far as I can tell, the whole figure's new because it's taller than Obi-Wan. So it's not just like they took Anakin's head and put it on the Obi-Wan body. Like it's a whole different sculpt.
Yep, and like the Force Spirit figures aren't the best in the line. Like they're not the best, but I'm totally in on this 3-pack.
Yeah, same.
But what do you think of the Anakin head sculpt there?
Let's get to it. Right. I think that the Anakin head sculpt might possibly be the best Anakin head sculpt they've done so far. I mean, there hasn't been a lot to choose from, but it looks really good.
It does look really good. I'm really excited to see this without like some glossy paint on it that's not a Force Spirit version. So hopefully we can get that soon. He does look pretty big. I want to see the picture of them like standing next to each other in the like that. He is a little taller than Ben Kenobi. Well, in this picture.
I mean, Darth Vader's like super tall. So he's Darth Vader. Anakin's tall. Canonically speaking, Anakin is tall.
He gets taller because like the robotic limbs too, though. But I feel like if you look at that picture, he is a little taller than Ben Kenobi there. So
Hayden Christensen height. Let's look. Right, he's 6'1" tall.
Okay, so that's not Darth Vader tall. Darth Vader's like 6'6" or 6'8", right?
Let's find out. Darth Vader height 6 feet 8 inches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he went from a point guard to a power forward with some robotic legs, just like that.
Yeah,
but I feel like they got. Go back to the actual figures.
Sure.
You know, he does look a little big, but I think that might be because maybe they'll eventually release an alternate version with a Sebastian Shaw.
I really wanted them just to put an alternate head in here.
I feel like they missed an opportunity to...
There's no reason not to have an alternate Sebastian Shaw head.
Yeah.
For sure. Because there are people like me who grew up with the old man Anakin. And frankly... I know the reasoning is like, well, that's what he looked like when Anakin Skywalker died. No, he didn't. Anakin Skywalker looked like a bald egg when he died because he was Anakin Skywalker at the end. Okay, so
am I the only one that's Team Hayden? I'm Team Hayden Force Spirit.
That was one of my least favorite. That was one of the worst updates for me when I'm watching Return of the Jedi, and it wasn't even the original 97, because in 97 it was still Sebastian Shaw. It wasn't until after the prequels came out and they put them on DVD in 2004. So this is, the original Empire Strikes. That's what, 21 years of watching Return of the Jedi, and suddenly they changed the visible actor of old man Anakin Skywalker, and you're like, what the heck? Why does he look like Hayden Christensen? It doesn't make any sense. But it's also those things like, I get it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever.
See, I'm Team Hayden personally, but I do think it's a missed opportunity to not do the Sebastian Shaw head.
Well, because you get one for everybody. You get the people like me,
exactly,
who the old fuddy-duddies who grew up with Sebastian Shaw, old man, and you just kind of understood.
And you get people like me who grew up with Hayden as the
exactly. And so you get the best of both worlds.
But I do understand that if they want to mainline Return of the Jedi Galaxy packaging one with Sebastian Shaw in it,
I'd buy it.
That's you're paying for the same, but they're making money off the same body, and all they got to do is a new head sculpt on it.
Well, and the Anakin Skywalker has a history of having his own figure. Mm-hmm. There was one in the original vintage. There was one in before Phantom Menace came out. They came out with one in like they had these weird preview figures where it's like you pulled down a little tab and it went from one figure or one version of the figure to a different one. I don't know how to describe it. It was a weird thing they were doing.
Like a SWAT thing or something.
Yeah, it was like a little morph picture where you pull it down and the picture changes from one character to another. And they made it's like the Yoda they did had like hair. He had like real rooted hair. It was weird. It was a weird time for Star Wars figures. But I had that Anakin Skywalker, that Sebastian Shaw action figure. So now, I kind of want one for my 6-inch scale figure. Like, I want a Sebastian Shaw Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I had something on my mind. Oh, could you potentially maybe swap this head for the Ben Kenobi head that's going to be on the Concept 2-pack?
Oh,
and then maybe. make that your Sebastian Shaw. Could that work? Or
it could be. I mean, honestly, it probably won't look as like luminous or whatever.
Yeah,
but I mean, it could be an alternative. But I'd much rather than just give me a Sebastian Shaw head. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah, but
so we got the. I like the
You
little
got
Yoda. He's cute.
I'm glad this is on the newer mold.
Yeah, same. Although, like, again, I don't know what I'm going to do with my old Ghost Yoda. I have a Ghost Yoda. He's not great, but I have one. Do I put him back in? I think I'll just put both of my Ghost figures back in their boxes, and they just go back in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might sell them as a two, just put them loose, like two of them loose on eBay, $30 free shipping or something, and just get some cash back to help.
Yeah.
Buy the two of these. I'm probably in on.
Yeah.
I feel like
I do like that the packaging, they're like individual
carded,
but they also come in the box,
set.
which is, I think that's cool.
I think that's the reason I'm in on two of these, because I kind of want all three of them to open, and then hopefully, if Luke ever makes the bridge, I'll print that for me and you. And then I feel like I really like the display of this, so I feel like I might be in on two of these.
Well, especially since we're getting the Luke Skywalker to go with it, like I'm excited that we're getting a Luke to go with this. We're getting the Luke to go with the Vader, which means that I'm probably going to get two versions of the Luke Skywalker, so I can have one with each set. Mm-hmm. And then my Ewok Village Leia will be right next to him. Like,
yep.
I'm loving what we're doing. I'm loving what Hasbro's doing right here with this.
I am buying what they're selling.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I'm in on two of these like right off the bat, because even the concept 2-pack that they put that on a clearance, like a sale on Shop Disney for a brief little bit before it sold out. So I might wait a little bit on this and see if they drop it. If they're doing those special like 20% off things, for Shop Disney, I'll probably grab a second one. So maybe not right away, but I'll eventually get a second one, I think.
Sure. Okay, moving on to the next reveal.
Look at this unexpected beauty.
Very unexpected. I was not expecting a Jabba the Hutt. Like, I wanted them to do it. It made sense for them to do it.
Mm-hmm. We were saying, why haven't they done it?
Yeah.
Yet,
So is this just the exact same Jabba the Hutt we already have?
It looks like the exact same.
It looks the same. Yeah.
And as you know, in our chat, I've been trying to find a Black Series, like the Black Series armrest and the hookah bowl and all that for my beautiful set that I bought, the slab. And I've actually downloaded STL files of this, but now I'm just going to sell this Jabba the Hutt, and I'm just going to rebuy this one with that beautiful armrest. And I think it's obviously the same mold. Clearly, it's still going to have that arm, feature with the mouth opening,
the mouth gimmick. Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure the paint will be better. The paint,
hopefully,
I think the paint will be better. Yeah. Right.
So he comes with a Salacious Crumb, which is neat, and he comes with the armrest and the hookah, which that's what came with the original San Diego Comic-Con version, right?
Yeah, it's the exact same one too.
Yeah. So I'm in on this. Like, not even a question. I'm buying this. I don't know what I'm doing with my other Jabba. Again,
do you have the SDCC Jabba?
No, I don't. I just got the regular 2014 Phase 2 Jabba, which was just Jabba. Yes. I have the sled that my buddy Dave made me a sled out of like foam board and stuff, and I like that a lot. But this little arm and hookah thing is just that's what I want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is gonna complete my Jabba display.
For sure. Yeah, and it's been 10 years. Like, it's time to have a new Jabba. It's time for a new Jabba. Or the same Jabba again. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have preferred they got a new one for us, but it's acceptable.
Well, it's one of those things like, what can you really do with Jabba? I would have preferred a new upper part. Maybe give us like articulated eyes,
like a different expression.
Yeah, or a different expression. I don't care about the mouth moving gimmick at all. I just do not.
I enjoy it, but I
don't like that it's tied to the arm movement. Like when you restrict a point of articulation, for the sake of a gimmick, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, that is true. And I think this is going to be $100 even, right?
I think so. Yeah, and it's Hasbro Pulse and Shop Disney exclusive, and it's going to come out in the fall.
Is that a little high price? What do you think on the price of it?
Well, the original one was $40. That was 10 years ago, and it was just the Jabba.
Yeah.
I think the San Diego Comic-Con version was $50 or $60.
Yeah.
So I honestly, with the way cost inflation has been going, It's about right, I guess.
And so this is Hasbro, Pulse, and Shop Disney.
Yep.
So
plus it's the you're getting this fun little like TVC style box, which is just kind of neat.
Yeah, that is neat. I'm in on it. I'm definitely buying it. I have that Pulse membership, so the free shipping will really help. That's what I think is going to get a lot of people. They're going to put this in their cart, and then they're going to see shipping for like $18, and then they're going to be out on it. And then, having that free shipping from Pulse really helps.
And it's it sucks when for the first time you do it because you're like, oh, it's $50. Like, I'd rather just pay shipping. The problem is that's good for a year. It's not a problem, but the thing is, it's good for a year. So like 2 or 3 purchases like this, and you've paid for it, and anything else after that, it's just money.
I wish this would have been the perfect opportunity.
So I'm sorry, I just looked up the price. The original price for the San Diego Comic-Con was $64.99.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And that came with like all the cardboard, sled and all that, and the backdrop.
Yeah,
and all that, and like the opening box, which is kind of neat.
Correct. Yeah.
This would have been the perfect opportunity to throw in a new Jabba's prisoner / slave Leia, because it's not a window. You can throw it in there. You can put it on a card, maybe not even on a card. I would have preferred that, for an extra $25. I still would have been in.
It's just one of those things we're never going to get it, man.
I know. This would have just been the perfect way to do it, because you don't have to sell it like on Target shelves or anything, or on.
Well, especially because it's a Hasbro Pulse exclusive.
Exactly.
It's not going to be on shelves.
You can have it in the box, picture of it on the box, but not like can't see it on the window or something.
Listen, I agree. I agree with you. It's one of those things that's never going to happen.
Playing the same broken record.
Yeah.
I'd say to throw it in there. This would have been perfect.
Like, do I want a new version of that figure? Absolutely. The original version is one of the worst figures in the entire line. The head is terrible. The body's terrible. Everything about it is terrible. It was a peg warmer at the time for a reason.
I had it. I used to have it, and I saw, 15, 20s of them on pegs over that span of time way back then. I wish I would have bought 2 and or not sold the one I got rid of. I might buy that soon though. When I go to ICC-Con, if I see a good deal on it, because usually they have pretty good deals since the tables there aren't too expensive. If I see one, I might have to pull the trigger on it.
I want you to, just because that will mean that they will make a new one.
I was literally, if I bought it, they would 100% have announced it today. Yeah. But since I personally didn't buy it, they're not announcing it. So
no. For sure.
If I have to make that sacrifice for them to make a new one, right. I would do it,
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Well, that was pretty much it for the new stuff at Star Wars Celebration. After this, they announced they showed us things that they announced yesterday, but we got a lot more information on them today.
Yeah.
And basically, we're getting just a bunch of Bad Batch stuff.
Bad Batch
a bunch of rad Bad Batch stuff. They showed us all of season 2 Bad Batch.
I'm actually genuinely surprised in how accepting the community was of these figures, even though most of them are, 85, 90% repaints.
Yep.
Well, other than Hunter, they're pretty much 100%, I think, repaints. Or at least like 95% repaints.
We'll go
into them.
Go into each one.
I was looking at the comments on my Instagram and then the TikTok video I post. People are digging them, and I didn't expect that. I thought people would kind of
catch grab, just repaints. But I think people just kind of expected it. Hasbro can't, or they can't help. They can't help that. That's just how Disney designed it.
Yeah.
But it also makes sense. Like, why would they go get completely different armor or whatever? They took what they had and they added to it, or they painted it differently to differentiate themselves. Like, what canonical reason would they have to have completely different looks, except for Omega here?
Yeah, and I wasn't necessarily like the biggest fan of their colors in season 2, but then I think a couple episodes ago you kind of explained it where you were like, well, it's the first time they really have like freedom to express themselves and not have like armor given to them by the Republic. And also, you might have mentioned this, it might not have been you, but then also like they're surviving now. So whenever they have a broken shoulder pad, they don't have an armory where they can go get a new one.
I didn't make that point, but it's
they have to use whatever they can find to patch it or paint it or whatever, you know. So it shows them surviving almost like on their own.
Yeah.
And not having a depository of unlimited resources they can just go to the armory and get. So it's pretty cool. I'm not in on them, but we'll go over that. I'm in on Omega, and she is an amazing looking figure.
Yeah. So of all the figures we're going to look at here, this is the only mainline one. So this will be part of the regular release waves, and this one's actually coming out not in the next wave, but the wave after that.
Yeah.
So Omega here,
I don't think she's double packed, is she?
No, she's not.
I don't think she's
not double packed. No. So she has two versions of her bow, which I think is really cool. Because that's something I wish the first one came with, was two versions of the bow. So happy for that.
Yeah, and the alternate head.
Alternate head. Yeah, I was going to get that one to you. The fact that she has not just a hat that you can put on, but it's the whole head that's a different head. Finally, like Hasbro, do more of this. Like we want. I don't want helmets. I want alternate heads.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I want alternate lightsaber hilts detached.
Same. Yep. Same. I love that the little folded up bow can go on her back. She's mostly new. I think maybe her pants and legs are a reuse, but obviously the head, the arms, and the torso are completely new.
The shin boots look new to me. What would they be from?
They might be different, yeah.
Because like the design on the shin where it kind of cuts in and then back down, those don't look familiar to me. So I think those might be new. But the legs, can be. I'm not sure what they'd be from.
Well, what is the original one?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot that we literally haven't heard. I got it. I'll get it. Oh, Mike's already got it.
No, they're the same.
They're the same legs? Even the boots?
It's the same legs, even the boots, yeah.
Okay, even the boots. Okay.
Yeah, they said they have the same design. So her lower torso is the exact same as the original release. But everything from the waist up is brand new.
Yeah, the alt head is what really makes me in on this figure. And I feel like we need a season 2 Omega like that. Even the other one we have, it's literally just her look from the first episode.
Yes.
And then she looks completely different.
Completely different after
this is sort of the definitive Omega of
if you're looking for an Omega to put with your Bad Batchers, like this is the one to get for sure. Easily, hands down. Yeah.
Yeah, this one clears the first one by far.
Yeah, by far, for sure. So this one, again, mainline, not different. But moving on from here, we have a blank clone commando template. Thoughts?
Without paint, he looks a little skinnier, but I'm still in. I might have to pick up 2 of them because I'm down. I'm down to have blank commandos because you can put them on any shelf. Now, you can put them with your Clone Wars things. You can put them with your Bad Batch things. If you want to put them with your Empire things, since they're technically Imperial at this point in the timeline now, you can put them with your Delta Squad if you want like some, background blank commandos. Like they'll fit pretty much anywhere you want to put them. Yeah. So I'm glad that it just like the fact that they're releasing another one. It just makes it seem like you could have done a new mold. I know it's a broken record, and I hate to say it, but you could have done the new mold and released it 6 times. And we would have ate them all up still. I'm still eating them up. I still like it. I'm still getting
agree.
it. I think everybody's said it on every show, on every YouTube channel. You could have done the new mold, released it 10 times, and we would have bought it.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think that's a valid concern, critique, especially for how, like, it wasn't just the Delta Squad. Like, it's this. They could have easily made their money back had they done an all new mold. And now I don't want them to do an all new mold because I don't want to have to buy all of these again. I don't want to buy a new version of Delta Squad.
It'll be kind of like our regular clone troopers where they're not really uniform. They have different styles now.
Exactly. I want that consistency.
Watch them do 100% new Gregor though. And just
I don't want them to do it. No, because Gregor is a clone like this. I know. So I don't want them to do a new Gregor like this. I want the Gregor to look the same as the other commandos.
Yeah.
But I get it.
They need to do Gregor, though. I'm excited for it.
No, I definitely want a Gregor.
And the customizing potential of these I'm excited to see what the community is going to do with these.
For sure. Yeah, so these and the rest of the Bad Batchers are Walmart exclusive.
I will say,
hooray!
I defended that on someone else's post. I forget. I actually think it's a good choice. So hear me out.
Sure, go ahead.
These are mostly repaints.
Sure.
So if they would have been mainline, they would have taken up so many mainline slots for just repaints.
Oh, I agree with that, but it's the Walmart aspect, though.
I know. Walmart sucks, but it is easy to pre-order from Walmart these days.
That's true.
I mean, we did have trouble with the Jesse, but I don't think these are going to be like the most sought-after things. I don't think they'll be too hard to get for people who are getting them. But I think it's better that these are exclusive rather than mainline so they don't take up those spaces.
Yeah.
As long as Walmart's website works. That's the only caveat, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Goal is, like the last time where it's there. I want to pre-order Jesse, and
it took me
2 hours later.
An hour and a half. It took me 2 hours, yeah.
Yeah. So you're not wrong. It's just that I think that
it's
the
the
whole
reputation
Clone Wars thing.
Walmart
it's the reputation now. They between the Clone Wars fiasco of trying to get those 4 figures, and then the pre-ordering those Clone Wars ones with the Grievous and the ARC Trooper and stuff, where we didn't even see pictures of them for a year. Like I've had these on pre-order and I have no idea what they look like. Things like that. It doesn't feel right, even though you're right. They traditionally haven't been hard to get in the last little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Walmart exclusive coming out this summer. The next one we've got is Hunter, who's got probably the most new on him of all
the
belt, main members. Yeah, we have the belt and the scarf, and I think the forearms are new because they have a little.
The forearms look. It has a wrap. Yeah.
And his leg. The leg has a little.
Look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot more new here than you would expect, basically.
I also like how his knife, I think it has a more prominent yellow color on it.
Yeah.
And the original one isn't as noticeable.
Correct.
So that's really cool. I will say, for these, the picture in the middle, like him standing there just like kind of flat, and then all the accessories on the side. We need more pictures like that in the Black Series.
I agree. I agree.
The promo images of just the layout of everything you get, the figure, and then all the separated accessories. I absolutely love that, and I think that every figure they release, we should get that type of layout picture. I absolutely adore it. Because that way you don't have to click through 6 photos to see everything it comes with. It's just flat,
you can just see it right there. Yep,
everything is all in front of you, and then you can look at the different poses and
and I think one of the reasons they have that now is because of the new packaging, because they have this layout on the side of the packaging.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's a good point.
So I think the new packaging is one of the reasons why we're starting to get that. So so he comes with the 2 pistols now instead of the DC 17 M or whatever it is. He's got the holster for the 2 pistols, which is great because the original one didn't have any holsters, even though he should have. So that's neat. I do like the scarf. I like the colors on this one. I think it just kind of
they pop.
Yeah. And we have the box.
It's good because this is a good re-release because the original Hunter is like worth $80 now, and we've given away 2 of them.
It's true.
So join our Patreon because we give away some badass figures.
We give some good figures away for sure. Yeah. So we got Hunter coming, and the next one they showed off was Teak. No spoilers yet. We haven't gotten to the spoilers yet. So let's just talk about tech.
The goggles. We got.
They fixed the goggles.
They look so good too.
They do.
Look at that little red paint on the little light beam of it.
No, really, they said really it's hard to see from here, but they said that it's translucent, so you can see through them.
Yeah, on that one on the left, you can kind of see his eyes, but it is a little tough.
Yeah.
It is a nice touch though. The goggles are big. And does the original go back to that one? The accessory like all the way on the right that has the little like clip. was that originally? Did that have the black paint in the original one, or was
I don't know. They were not painted at all.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think that's a new paint on that.
Yeah,
on that black piece.
Yeah,
because I remember complaining about all three of those coming and just having like just gray plastic. It's like, really, we couldn't give them anything. I know it's just a little bit, but come on now.
No, I agree. Yeah.
I actually like the colors on Tech the most because the blue and the orange I think works really well. With
it really works well. The blue pants,
little dark gray,
absolutely.
On his chest there.
So he, I think, is the one that's changed the least, other than the goggles. I don't think his actual armor is sculpted any differently. It's just new paint.
Yeah. And I'm not getting any of these, but I will wait. I think I'm gonna, if Tech goes on sale, like a deep discount, I'll get them for the head swap. I feel like I need the goggles.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. I still don't like that he doesn't have a holster for his blaster pistol.
Like, yeah, that's a little odd. What's that on his right leg? Is that not? Oh, that's like a little pack.
It's just
like
a pouch.
Pack.
Yeah.
He's a good looking figure, though. He has a lot going on.
I really like the original, and I think this one is even better. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Next, we got Echo. So again, the comma is a little different. The comma is the belt, and the actual comma piece is sculpted a little bit differently, but the rest is the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the colors on this one, how do you feel? Do you like the colors on this one, like the darker and then the orange and yellow type?
Yeah, I visually, I think it's better.
See, I still like having them all in that uniform, like black or like the really dark gray and like the actual armor. But so I think I'm good with having just their season 1 ones.
Sure. This one also doesn't come with a little like add-on thing for the arm.
Oh yeah, just noticed that. This doesn't have the giant claw for no reason.
It does not. Yeah.
Interesting. And he does still have the helmet's all the same and all that.
Yeah,
so you had to put
the helmet's all the same. Yeah, so it's got the same little back like headpiece slot for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one's good. And then we got Rika.
We got Rika.
This one's got a little holster for his blaster now, and that's fun.
Mm-hmm. That is neat. You can clip it on his leg there.
Yeah. So other than that, this is just basically a straight repaint.
They should have done the record with the giant neck brace.
Yeah, for sure. I think I would have liked it had they given him a different face sculpt. Like if they given him,
they should have done a little bit of a different.
Like I think that's true for all of them. If they'd given him just some kind of different facial expression
to like make him a little variant.
Yeah.
Like it would give people more of a reason to buy him, I think.
Yeah.
If they came with different facial expressions.
Agreed.
But I guess
it looks good.
They feel like they'll make money on him either way. So
Wrecker is easily one of my favorite figures in the line. I don't understand how he's such a peg warmer. He's just such a good figure. He was, I think, my top figure of 2021. I just love Wrecker so much.
I think it was
the figure.
I think it was your top.
Yeah.
It might be the character. I feel like he's the character that people dig the least.
Oh, he's the one I dig the most.
Really?
Yeah.
I just feel like sometimes he's just too over the top for me, and I get why he's there. But at the same time, sometimes I'm just like, bro, I wish you would have got blown up in some of these things.
It's interesting. I just noticed that he painted over the 9-9 on his helmet.
Oh yeah, wow.
Because it had the Arabesh 999 on there. And now it's got the little black stripes on there, which is neat. I think that's a fun
that is neat
little detail.
That is neat. But his colors look good. He's less bright than the rest of them, which is neat.
Yeah.
He's a little darker.
Yeah. So he is still a deluxe for the people that are wondering. Still deluxe, but still Walmart exclusive. So he's coming out with the rest of the people except for Omega. These will all be out in 2023.
Yep, fall time.
Fall, yeah.
Which means summer.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about this one.
Look at that.
Look at that.
So
we did have one more reveal for mainline, and that is Cad Bane.
From the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. Now, I wonder if this is going to be part of that same wave with the other Book of Boba Fett figures. So, like the Tusken Chieftain and the Pike
The
soldier.
Pike, yeah.
So
I want
this
him to
could
be double packed. He needs
figure
to be
number
double-packed.
3. Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't save this for Mando Mania. That's what I thought they would
I
do.
was expecting it. I was expecting not to see it, and I was expecting a Mando Mania reveal. But they did say he's all new. Like every part of him is new legs, new chest, all that stuff, new hat, new face.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one.
Yep. One of the weird things they said with this though was that he would be in the traditional package, but they did not elaborate what that means.
Yeah, that could go either way. That could mean he'll be back in a plastic window, or he'll be back in just like the or traditional as in the Galaxy line. They could go either way with that. So we'll see. But he's been pipelined for a long time now, right? Wasn't he pipelined?
He was pipelined at the same time as blackseriescantina. Yeah.
What's the one that's like really long? I guess it was I guess it's the Din Djarin still. That's pipeline.
I think Din Djarin is the longest one. We'll probably see that one in a Mando Mania. Like that one would make sense.
Yeah, but I'm 100% in on this Cad Bane. I think it's a great.
Cad Bane's my favorite. Like he's just my favorite. I was over the moon. Like whatever you think of Book of Boba Fett, I don't care. As soon as I saw him on screen, I like squealed like a little girl. Like I could not believe I was seeing a live action Cad Bane. Like that was just bonkers to me that I'm looking at a live action Cad Bane. I don't care that his mouth was slightly off from where it is in the cartoon. Do not care.
I'm kind of disappointed he died because now he could have been a great villain going forward for Boba Fett. Maybe.
Well, there's people that still think he didn't die. They're like, oh, you can still see the light blinking on his chest or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. This is the second time I've heard, oh, Cad Bane died because he died, quote unquote, in that cinematic in Clone Wars that never made it to life because they canceled it. But it seems like he didn't die because he's got a little plate on his head from after that. So, he lived or whatever. So he can still live. I don't know. I do know that he should be like 80 years old. And I don't think Duros actually lived that long. So I don't.
He is an alien. And if Reva can take a lightsaber blade to the stomach whenever she's like 10, and then take another lightsaber blade to the same spot in the stomach when she's like 24 or whatever no, what's the math on this? Like, however, a couple years later when she's, trying to get back at Vader.
Listen, if Darth Maul...
Exactly. If Darth Maul can get cut in half and then live as a spider, he can take a stab wound to the gut. Yeah. I feel like it means more in the story if Boba Fett does complete the kill. But you know how Star Wars is. No one's ever really gone.
No one's ever really gone. One of the best lines from the season.
Somehow, Cad Bane returned.
Listen, it doesn't matter how. He did, okay? We still don't really know how Darth Maul returned. Like, we get the gist of it. He survived off of hate. He turned into a spy, but we've never seen it. Like, they've never shown us that journey from him falling down, a shaft on Naboo to showing up as a half spider on a junk planet. Like, where did that happen? It's people are mad about not knowing how Palpatine came back, which they've never really, we don't even know really still how the clones were even made. Like we know Sifo Dyas was doing something. We know Dooku was like in the background doing his little pulling things and deleting things, but we don't really know where they came from. And then when the Jedi found them, they were like, oh, we'll just use them. We'll just use them. They're here, right? Let's just use them. We don't even question it. Yoda's like, yeah, well, I'm just going to hop on this ship with them. Why not? It's just, they don't even question it. Like, whatever. It's fine. Like, if Star Wars doesn't take itself that seriously, why should you? That's the question.
Very true. Very true.
Anyways, so Cad Bane, excited. That was a weird rant that I went on there.
Yeah. Day one pre-order for me, Cad Bane.
Oh, easily. So mainline, not exclusive anywhere.
It's funny. I'm like, I feel like I'm done pre-ordering most things, and then they drop a ton of these, and I'm like, I feel like
that.
I feel like these are ones I have to pre-order.
100%. If I'm super excited about them and I don't care, like if it's something I don't care about, I'm like, I'll wait for it to be on sale or whatever. I'll wait. But for like this, like no, I'm a Cad Bane stan. Like I've got the Braca one.
For Cad Bane.
100%. Yeah.
Can you believe this is going to be our third Cad Bane?
Third Cad Bane.
There's figures in the Black Series that we need new versions of, and we have 3 Cad Banes. Like that's crazy. I'm pumped. I'm pumped.
So yeah. Oh yeah. Removable hat, all that stuff. Okay. Next we've got some pipeline reveals. The first one, and this was met with a couple groans. It was kind of funny. We are getting
the casual fans love them, or whatever they say.
We're getting another wave of holiday figures in time for the holidays, and they put up these little wrapping papers, and they I think it was Chris said like, oh yeah, and the wrapping papers kind of are hints or whatever. And looking at them, you can clearly see what they're going to be. So the first one, we're getting some kind of Mandalorian with some kind of Babu Frick creature. We've already gotten a holiday Babu Frick. We've even already gotten a holiday Mandalorian. So I don't know if it's going to be a Din Djarin.
Could it be a Boba?
Or maybe the new Mandalorian Death Watch mold.
Or it'll be the same Empire Strikes Back Boba we've gotten 13 times or 14 times.
Not. I really hope not. It's really hard to tell because it's just...
I kind of hope they do, just to keep the bit going. You know, how many times they can find a way to release it.
Sure. I'll give you that. Yeah. Next, we've got we're getting a Jawa with what looks like a Kowakian monkey lizard.
Yeah.
And again, there's no actual pictures of these. There's just wrapping paper, and the snowflakes on the wrapping paper are in the shapes of heads.
They're not very subtle hints.
They're not subtle. Yeah.
It's literally a Jawa head and a Kowakian monkey head.
Yeah. And the third one is like that. Okay, that is an Ewok, and I don't know which Ewok. I don't know if it's a Poplu or a Wicket or a Tebow. Probably, if we know Hasbro, it's probably going to be a Wicket because he's the smallest. Mm-hmm. And Wicket comes with what looks like a Porg, which is another small thing. So, like,
yeah,
come on. Down at the bottom, we've got a K2 security droid with what looks like another BD. And again, we already got a Christmas BD, but we're getting another Christmas BD.
A different color pattern on it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And then the bottom middle looks like it'll be one of those, what do they call those?
Purge Trooper?
The Purge Troopers.
It's a Purge Trooper.
And then a mouse droid.
And a mouse droid. So.
Oh, yeah, that'll be neat.
And again, we already got, I'm pretty sure we got a Christmas mouse droid, didn't we? Yeah, we did.
I think so.
So, and then lastly, what is that? Is that a snow trooper?
It looks like a snow trooper, and what's that thing in the middle? I can't tell.
I think it's one of those interrogation droids.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Ball.
Yeah, because it has the little, Dr. Ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be the best one. At least like the most packed.
I think of all this, the ones I'm most interested in seeing are the Purge Trooper or the Mandalorian, depending on which Mandalorian it is.
Wouldn't you want the Dr. Ball to come with like the Ewok so you get more in the set?
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's like the price is justified a little more.
It really depends on which Ewok it is, but you're right. Regardless, I would want a bigger...
Because I'm fine paying $25 to $30 for an actual Wicket, but I'm not going to pay, personally, like, I'm probably not in on that Ewok because like the value of what's going to come in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they actually are, but we got little hints. We can figure out the gist of it.
So the question is, do you think they'll actually announce and release these by Christmas time, or are they going to have to do the same thing they did last time and wait another Christmas season?
I hope that they've got. I feel like they're at the point where they've got the release dates figured out now. Like they're back to normal. I feel like they are.
Because they got messed up there for one cycle.
Oh, for sure. That was like 2021.
Whole year.
So
yeah.
Yeah, 2021 was a crazy year for delays.
That is very true.
Then next we got the proper pipeline reveals, and it was what's weird about all these is they're mostly exclusive.
They are hype though.
Very hype. Very hype. Take us through them.
Yeah, so we got the Battlefront 2 Battle Damage General Grievous, which I am super excited for that. Very I love that game, and I know it's not the best figure in the line. But I'll take a Battle Damage Grievous, 7 days of the week, and, twice on Sunday, every single time. So I wonder if he's just going to come with his 2 blades. You think he'll just come?
Yeah, good question. I have no idea. Good question. Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully they give him all 4. But
because usually they're pretty good about showing us pictures of pretty much exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So could be.
And then that's a GameStop exclusive, so that'll be easy to get. We got a Walmart exclusive. It's the Obi-Wan Kenobi from the end of the show where he's wearing that
the goggles,
the goggles, and then the more traditional Jedi robe type thing with the brown little.
You think he'll come with a little model kit, the little the T16 model?
He should. I kind of wish this was a 2-pack with the young Luke personally. Like that's what I was.
Same.
Or like if they packed in like a. Well, not the Leia because she doesn't see him in that outfit. She doesn't see him in that outfit, but I wish that was a 2-pack with the young Luke because that way it would justify the cost of the young Luke a little more if we ever get it.
Sure. Yeah.
But we are also getting a character that matches that, and that's another Walmart exclusive, Qui-Gon Jinn Force Spirit. Which I know the Force Spirit figures, they're not the best, but it is a kind of a vital scene. And hopefully, if they do a season 2, we get some more, Force Spirit, Liam Neeson training Obi-Wan.
For sure.
I'm in on all 3 of those so far.
Yeah, it did seem from the interview with Kathleen Kennedy that the season 2 isn't happening anytime soon.
Yeah, I did see somebody post an article saying that Lucasfilm isn't actively working on season 2 for Kenobi.
They didn't say that wasn't happening, just that it's not being actively
it's not
worked on. Yeah.
Actively being worked on right now. I would take it. I want it. I know a lot of people. Yeah. So I'm in on all 3 of those so far. And then they said we got a Clone Wars mini beat pre-Vizsla, which I'm very, very excited about that. Are you in on that one?
Oh yeah, I'm in on all of these. But I think of all of them, pre-Vizsla is tied for what I'm most excited for because pre-Vizsla is like if you watch the Clone Wars, if you're a Clone Wars fan, pre-Vizsla, he's big. He's got to come with the Darksaber.
He's got to be on the new body.
He was the first time we saw the Darksaber. Like he had it. He was the leader of Death Watch.
Yeah. I feel like he's got to be on the new body. You think they'll throw in the alt head or no? Or I mean, I
hope so.
Helmet?
I mean, I really hope so. He should.
He should have a removable helmet.
Yeah.
And then this is what has me really excited. I know it's just another.
This is the one that's tied.
It's another Darth Vader. I totally get it. But this is one of my favorite scenes in all of Star Wars now. It's just so emotional. It hits on every level. The battle damage Darth Vader from the end of the Kenobi series. It's a Target exclusive. It'll still be easy to pre-order. Should be easy to get. I might get 2 of these. We'll see. Hopefully it comes in the new plastic window that they're doing. If so, I'll get 2. But if not, I'll probably just get 1. But yeah, I'm so excited. And TVC's already gotten theirs pipelined and revealed. They got theirs revealed. So super excited that we're finally getting it in the pipeline.
For sure.
I knew as soon as that happened that they were going to start working on that pretty quickly. I just kind of assumed that. And it's true because obviously they're getting it out in both lines pretty quickly. Yep. And then we got a Target exclusive Commander Appo, which is interesting. It's interesting timing.
Yeah. My first thought was I wonder if this has been spurred along by the KO Commander Appo that's been very popular.
Yeah, I guess they're saying, well, everybody's giving their money to them. We got to have an excuse to them to get our money. So
and I said from the beginning, if Hasbro ever releases one, I'll buy it. Just out of principle. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get it. And also, it's just another clone on the shelf. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully, it's going to be on the new clone body that they're doing. For the Clone Wars mini beat theatrical look. So hopefully that's the body they put it on. But yeah, I'm in on all 6 of these pipelines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Which you said you had 2 that you're like.
Oh, the Darth Vader and the pre-Vizsla are the 2 I'm looking for. They're pretty much tied. Yeah.
I think this is so tough because it's got to be the Vader, and I feel like second is tied between the pre-Vizsla and the end of the Kenobi series Kenobi. I know we have 3. We have a ton of other Kenobis from the same series, but I love that look so much. And I remember whenever we saw that episode, we came on this show and said we need that look in the Black Series. So that's the one we want 100%. The most.
Yep.
And he better come with the T16 toy.
Yep. Absolutely. So yeah, those are pipelines that they showed off today, and that was the end of the stream for Star Wars. They showed off some Indiana Jones stuff, and they showed off a lot of TVC stuff that we don't cover TVC, so we don't care. And we're also not an Indiana Jones podcast, so we're not really covering Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even cover the helmet, like the Ahsoka 330.
Oh yeah, they showed off the Ahsoka the 332nd, which is fine. It's a helmet with a splotchy face. It looks like a Wilson from Castaway kind of thing going on. But then they surprised
out of
us.
nowhere. From the top rope, out of nowhere,
They
for
surprised the crap out of us. Like it was like a half hour after the thing. I'm still coming down from the high of finally seeing things I've been wanting to see, and then they're just like, boom! How about some more?
Why didn't this Darth Maul?
I don't know.
And the Doc Onder get? Yeah. Why didn't they put him on the screen
first before we talk about this?
That's
but so the first thing they showed off was Darth Maul, the Old Master. So this is from Rebels. This is the Rebels Maul, basically.
GameStop exclusive.
I don't know why it's GameStop, because it's not like
it's not a Gaming Greats or anything.
Yeah. Fine, I don't care. He comes with the same lightsaber you're kind of used to seeing, in Rebels. The old Master half. It looks like the remnants of an Inquisitor lightsaber. He looks great. I love the. It looks like a new face. It looks like
it's definitely.
Honestly, it looks like, other than the legs, the whole torso, the head, the arms, all of those look new. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the bottom half is reused from the Clone Wars one, but like that's great.
Yeah.
So definitely looking forward to seeing this. Oh, Ethan says it's a skin in Battlefront 2.
Okay.
So that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, this is a skin from Battlefront 2 that explains everything. So thank you, Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
But he looks so good. He looks so good. And look at that.
Yeah, I'm really hyped.
Yeah.
Really hyped about this. It's just weird that they didn't put this on the stream. We'll talk about that.
It is weird. No, it's then
he looks great. I'm very excited. And then the Doc Onder that you're showing right now. The holocrons. I need it just for the holocrons alone.
He looks like an Ithorian Jesus. Like he's wearing Jesus clothes. They've got a nice soft goods whitish robe, and he's got kind of like a molded rubber overlay,
like tunic thing,
vest tunic thing, and a little sash, a little blue sash, and then he's got some like a necklace with like just accoutrement on it. I don't know how else to really describe it.
Almost kind of, if you picture like a Native American,
like
random
a necklace
stuff,
kind of thing,
necklace type thing,
like beads
going on,
things like that. And then, like you said, he comes with both a Sith he comes with both a Sith and a Jedi holocron. But he is our first Ithorian. He is a Hammerhead. Doc Onder, if you're not really sure who that is, he runs a shop canonically in the Black Spire Galaxy's Edge. So if you go to Disneyland, and you can go to Doc Onder's shop, and there's an animatronic version of this guy in the shop. So it's kind of cool that they're making this into a figure for me for two reasons. Number one, it's kind of fun to have a piece of the park that I can have in my collection. But number two, we're finally getting a Hammerhead. Like this is a Hammerhead.
Years in the making. We're getting a Hammerhead.
Exactly. If you're looking at this and thinking like, why aren't they giving us a Mammal name? Like they're going to. This is what we call a pre-mold or a pre-paint of it. Yeah, they do this. Hasbro does this all the time with Transformers. Is they'll release something and you're like, that looks more like this character over here, and they'll eventually turn it into that. What they do is they release the lesser popular version of it first, so people will want to buy that, and then they'll release the one that you want later to more effectively double dip on using essentially the same mold. So that's what's happening here.
Yeah, and I'm definitely giving those holograms I'm giving the Sith one to Ezra.
Yeah,
for sure. Or maybe to Darth Maul and then the regular.
I mean, it goes with Darth Maul for sure.
Yeah, Darth Maul, Ezra, any Jedi, any Sith. Really, that's super super exciting. Yeah, I'm in on Doc Onder. Is he exclusive anywhere?
He's exclusive to Shop Disney, and I think the
Shop
Disneyland
Disney.
Park.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Just like all the other. Well, no, those were at Target too. The Galaxy's Edge ones.
Eventually they went to Target, but not the multi-packs. But yeah. So he's going to be a Shop Disney exclusive for now.
Yeah, look at
and he looks amazing. The head sculpt looks so good. Yeah,
the mouth,
the little mouth. Yeah, the little mouth thing. So like now that we've got this, like I definitely want a Mem on Naden. I want a Mayor McCheese, the Makshaiz or whatever. You know
the Boba
Fett. Yeah, for sure. I want all.
It'll be cool because whenever they do him, he'll have like the voice box that translates.
The voice box, yeah.
You know,
and there's also, and we haven't talked. We're going to talk about Mandalorian, but like there was another one at the table. And he had the same kind of thing, a little voice box thing. So I think it's neat. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, these two reveals were just so like I thought I was done.
Yeah,
I thought we were done with the reveals, and then bam, like from nowhere,
out of left field, just boom. Here's two more random figures that you did not expect.
So why do you think that they kept these out of the stream?
I don't know. I think they were probably because they were contracted to be released by a specific publication. Because like publications will pay to have releases. So like Nerdist paid to have those releases for Bad Batch. You know, like they want those views, those clicks. So they're like, yeah, we're the first to release that stuff. Even though I never once clicked on anything Nerdist related.
I know.
to get any of this. I didn't look at any, but I know it doesn't matter.
How much do you think it would cost out of our Patreon pool to buy a release from Hasbro?
I don't want to know.
I feel like I want to find out, and then I'm going to email them and say,
how about you do it for the story?
I'm going to say like,
I mean, they've had people, like reviewers and like normie people do that stuff before.
I want to email and be like, prequel Jedi from Revenge of the Sith. You know, let me know. I'll give you X amount of dollars, and I'll be the one that reveals specifically a prequel Jedi. That's
preferably one who was a chosen person.
Yeah, make it like it'll be a chosen one, and you chose me to reveal this. Like hint at them, like maybe one that you have a new head for, and that you need to retool because everybody wants it. Maybe you should pick me to reveal that one.
Yeah.
And I'll give you, like a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Without Mike's approval.
We'll have an exclusive Black Series Cantina reveal.
That would be sick. A Black Series Cantina exclusive reveal. Like, I wouldn't put it on Instagram until we posted the show. I'd post it on Instagram saying, go download Black Series Cantina. We just announced with pictures.
Download our audio podcast to look at the latest pictures.
Well, I guess for that one, we would have to like make it public, I guess. But
yeah, we would.
And then once the episode drops, have people go and then post it. So that would be sick. But let's talk about overall thoughts on all the reveals real quick. What are your favorite? What's like your favorite reveal from today?
Oh well, a lot of it's stuff that we've been waiting for a while. So it's nice finally seeing these. Our pipeline list was growing pretty.
It was getting big. Yeah,
it's getting pretty big. In the last couple of weeks, they've been slowly whittling it down.
And then they added 6 more just.
And then so it's nice that they knocked a big chunk of them out today. It's nice finally seeing that R2. I think R2 of all of them, R2 is the one that kind of took the cake for me.
Yeah,
the one I'm most excited for. The one that I'm. Like if I could only choose one of everything that they showed off today, R2.
I agree. R2 for me is easily the best choice because he's so easily slottable into any shelf that we have. You can put him in A New Hope. You can put him in your prequels, Phantom Menace, whatever. You can put him in Return of the Jedi, Empire, like any shelf, And you can put him on your 10-4, 30 print thing anywhere. So I think, and then all the new tooling he has, it excites me that you can raise his head up because of what that could potentially mean for a Black Series 6-inch N1 Starfighter. I think after that, this might be a hot take, but kind of like a close second. I know this probably isn't how you feel or how most people feel, but I'm really looking forward to that Force Spirit 3 set. Like I know the Force Spirit figures, they're not the best. The 2 we have kind of suck.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I really like the presentation of like the 3 individual cards, the new Anakin head sculpt. I'm excited for that set. I think that's
well, one of the things we talked about in the last episode where we were worried that there wouldn't be any surprises. And that one was the most surprising. Like that one, I was like, whoa, I was not expecting, a Force 3-pack, and I wasn't expecting them to do the new Yoda and a brand new Anakin Skywalker. So there wasn't a lot of surprises, but that was surprising.
Yeah, that was a really nice surprise. But the Jabba was a surprise too. But that's something we've talked about that they should do.
Sure. Yeah. And the same thing with like season 2 Bad Batch. Like
exactly.
Technically we knew that surprising, but we knew it was coming. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the Force Spirit 3-pack came out of left field, which was awesome.
That would not have been anywhere on my radar for things that I would have guessed would come out for 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. Like, wouldn't have been on there.
Yeah, and we talked about this, I think, last show or the show before, where I like multi-packs, and I want them to do more. I want them to do more 2-packs.
Yeah, they're more costly. I get it. So it's more prohibitive for people to drop that much money. But if they're allow you to fudge like accessories, or if you're getting things you would normally get, I'm okay with it.
I do like 2-packs better though when it does with the window, like the Darth Vader or the concept art set that we have, to where, because if it's not something that you can fit on your movie shelf, it's something that you can still display and see the figure.
Yeah.
So with the PFP, I think multi-packs benefit from plastic, which is a good thing. So if we get more multi-packs, then plastic coming back is important for that for me.
Yeah. I'm actually really interested to see, when that change happens. We're technically, we've just, as a wide release, we've only gotten the very first wave of PFP packaging. Like, we just got that.
It literally, January 2023 to April 2023 is when PFP, like
we've gotten some other things like gaming greats PFP and stuff like that, but really I feel like we were just dipping our toes into PFP releases, and they backtracked real quick.
I wonder how annoyed the Hasbro Star Wars team is, because we know that and even Marvel Legends team, whenever they announced the plastic free packaging, the TVC team fought so hard for collectors to where to the point where the executives were like, okay, we get it. It's like nostalgic packaging. TVC is going to die if we don't have the card in the window. Yeah. So they saved that. So then now they had to design this whole new thing. And then now Hasbro's like, well, I guess the bottom line's being affected a little more than we thought.
Yeah.
Which is impressive. I didn't think it was going to make that big of a difference. But
apparently it is. Yeah.
I am genuinely impressed that the I guess inbox collectors stopped buying them or whatever happened, where they are going back.
It changed their tune real fast for sure. Yeah. Well, that's all the toy news, but we have general Star Wars discussion, which always kind of equates loosely to toys. So we like to just kind of talk about it, mention it. So a couple, being Star Wars Celebration, we did get a couple of just general Star Wars drops. I think for me, the most exciting one was absolutely the Ahsoka teaser. I've watched it 20 times.
Ahsoka teaser.
Yeah.
It looks really good. I'm very excited. So let's talk about the teaser a little more in depth. My first watch through, I didn't realize that Ezra pops up.
And the little hologram?
And then I realized I watched it a second time, and then that's when you notice all the stuff that you missed the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the first watch through, I did think, I was like, why do the red lightsabers look off brand? It looks like a fan film sabers, but then you look closer on a still, they're kind of cracked how Kylo's is. They're not perfect. So it makes sense for Force users of that era to not have the ability to make perfect lightsabers how Ahsoka's is, because it's not a lack of them not being able to do it, because you look at Ahsoka and at hers, and it's a perfect blade, but theirs aren't, which is a nice twist.
Well, one of the things I didn't notice the first time that I did, I think it took me 3 times to watch, that I noticed that some of those scenes of Ahsoka interacting with, I think his name's Balon, or Balar or something like that. Balin, the old Jedi guy, Sith guy. Yeah, right. But some of those scenes take place in what's clearly the world between worlds.
Yeah, that's
so.
That scares me a little too, bringing that into live action, because that
action,
that could mean so many things. Like, could we potentially go? We're gonna go. How far back in time are we gonna go? Like, that's insane. That's even a thing in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because when it's in animation, it's a little different. But now it's
easier to accept the weird, wild stuff, like the whole Mortis arc thing, and you're like, okay, we're getting a little crazy, but it's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon. Yeah, but like time travel in live action,
especially like Star Wars has never dealt. Like Star Trek deals with time travel all the time. Like Star Trek and time travel hand in hand. But they, other than Rebels and that one scene of Ezra going into the world between worlds, Star Wars has never dealt with time travel before.
Yeah. So it'll be neat to see how they pull it off. Like I kind of have a prediction, not for the Ahsoka show, but eventually, whether it's a side series or if Luke pops up, I feel like they're gonna have Ahsoka travel time or whatever, and then Ahsoka's gonna be the one to tell Luke, you have to go to Octu and like leave. This is like the only way that Palpatine dies or something. I feel like they're gonna try to make people like that decision about Luke better.
Like give him something different than I'm just mad about Kylo Ren or
because that's what my thing was. I didn't. I didn't like him going to the island because I feel like Force Awakens set it up.
They did.
Where he was like, he left a map to him.
Yeah, the whole premise of Force Awakens is Luke Skywalker has hidden himself away. Like that is the premise of the movie. Yeah. Luke's, Ryan Johnson didn't do that.
So I feel like Dave is going to do his best to give that a little more meaning and then have fans hopefully connect with that a little better.
Yeah.
And I think the world between that's so hard to say.
World between worlds.
Especially, like we're doing a podcast, we can, and we just do the raw audio mostly. So
the WBW, world between worlds.
The world between worlds. I feel like that's a really interesting thing that we're getting in live action. And
I've said that for a while, the prequels benefited a lot from having a lot of time, because I don't care who you are. The prequels were not loved when they came out. They weren't. They were not.
And
not
people who actually deny that, they forget that people bullied George Lucas into selling Star Wars. Essentially,
people bullied George Lucas. They bullied Ahmed Best. They bullied Jake Lloyd. They bullied that the movies existed. You might like them now, and you may have been young enough to like them then, but it was very, very, very widely. I'm not going to say universal, because there were people that liked it. Like there were people that like it because it's Star Wars. And
it was pretty universal though. Like, it was as universal.
It was wildly not liked. But it benefited from having 20 years or so of things like the Clone Wars and books and comics that fleshed a lot of the things out to make it a more lived in world, to explain things, to make you like characters you didn't like. Because I didn't like, if you just take Anakin Skywalker from Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, he's a whiny little prick. He's a little dick. Like what
he is, yeah.
No one likes Anakin Skywalker.
I mean, he does kill like 20 children in one of the movies.
It just doesn't even make sense. But when you add in, Clone Wars Anakin, you see a lot of different facets of Anakin Skywalker. They flesh him more out as a person. You got more time with him. You start to like him. That is what the sequel trilogy is really missing. So exactly what they're saying. And they've said this with Mandalorian from the start, is they want to take Mandalorian and use that to build into the sequel trilogy, to flesh that out more. And I think that's exactly what the sequels are missing, is that extra exposition, those, different, like what happened in those 30 years? Why are people the way they are when we see them? People were so mad about Luke Skywalker because suddenly he's like, this isn't the guy. This isn't the same guy. And I fully accept that. He's not the same person from the end of Return of the Jedi. He's not. And me personally, I'm like, yeah, it's been 30 years. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago. Like that, for me, that makes sense. I can totally see that. But there are people that just don't accept that because they didn't see that in between, and they can't marry those two ideas in their heads, or they don't want to. So I think seeing that, fleshing that out, I think that's what we're missing, and I think that's going to help a lot for sure.
Yeah, and I think like that leads into with the Ahsoka teaser, and then they announced the Dave Filoni ran film that was going to connect the Mandoverse era Disney Plus series into one movie event, which I'm hoping it's big. Hopefully it's a nice big event. It'll be
it seems
nice Thrawn-led Empire.
Yeah, it seems like from the Ahsoka trailer, they might be setting up sort of an heir to the Empire kind of storyline, which that's neat. Mm-hmm. I mean, they did announce today that Lars Mikkelsen, who voiced Thrawn in the Rebels cartoon, is playing him in the live action. Mm-hmm. So that's neat. I don't like it when they say, "Oh, he's joining the cast." Like, listen, he joined the cast. They filmed this. It's not like they just hired him on and they got to go film all this stuff. You can't say, "Oh, he just joined the cast." He's been part of the cast. You just didn't know it.
Yeah.
But
I'm calling it now. That event at the end, the big battle, they're going to have that, Avengers Endgame scene where you have all the heroes land, and then the last shot of the heroes lining up together, because you're going to get Luke, and you're going to get the Mandalorian, and you're going to get maybe Boba and Ahsoka and
for sure
Ezra and whoever else is there. Maybe even
old Rex. Why not?
Cal, Kestis.
Yeah.
You're going to get all these people, and then the last shot is going to be Grogu is going to ignite his saber for the first time, and he's going to get hang on some people. That's what I think's going to happen.
The way this is.
The way this. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Ahsoka teaser looked good, but you're right. So that was one of 3 movies that they announced. The other one is one based on the very first Jedi to wield the Force. It takes place 25,000 years before the Phantom Menace, sort of a old Republic sort of situation.
Which will be neat. That'll be really neat to see.
Yep. And then a new one, and that one's being directed by James Mangold, the guy that's doing the new Indiana Jones movie. Dave Filoni is obviously directing. It's going to be his first movie directing of the Mandoverse movie. And then we're getting a Rey movie set 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker, about her rebuilding the Jedi Order.
And I think Grogu will be in that as well with her.
I think so too. I 100% think that's 100% accurate. So what's interesting about this, one of the discourse I've seen on this is that, Disney has announced Star Wars movies in the last couple of years and nothing ever happened.
I was literally going to say, I wonder how many of these are actually going to be made.
I think this is different. I really do. So like the Taika Waititi is involved in like 1,000 different things. Like, and he, I think in an interview today, Kathleen Kennedy said, he's doing this in his own time. He wants to be the only person involved. Like, he's writing it. He's doing everything. The Rian Johnson one still hasn't been canceled. But again, he's doing Poker Face, which is a great TV show. He's making the Netflix, Glass Onion, Knives Out movies still.
Yeah, so I don't think that's been officially canceled, but I feel like it's kind of like, let's take our time.
Yeah, no, I think
they mutually agreed to shelf it for now, and then
I think it's shelved for now, but it's not been canceled. 100% agree. And then the Patty Jenkins one, they made probably the biggest deal about that one. But I think after Wonder Woman 84 and the whole, it sounds like she had a falling out with Disney, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, all that stuff. So that one I kind of makes sense, but I think. James Mangold, I don't think that's going to be an issue like it was with Patty Jenkins. James Mangold's already done an Indiana Jones movie. It's coming out in a couple months. He's kind of already in on there. I don't think they're going to have a problem with having a difference of opinion based on how they work.
And Dave Filoni,
Dave Filoni's Dave Filoni. That's going to happen. There's no way the Mando movie's not going to happen. And then I feel like with the Rey movie, you don't pull out Daisy Ridley. You don't invite her to Star Wars Celebration and
for it not to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So I really do think that they've committed to these more than they've committed to the other ones, for sure.
Yeah, and I really hope that we can flesh out the sequels a little more through animation or whatever they're doing with this, all these Disney Plus shows that are leading up to it. So that way, by the time that Rey, because I've already seen discourse online of, I'm not interested, like, who's interested in a Rey movie, and like, I just hope that by the time that movie happens, the majority of people are interested in watching it.
I don't like it when people say, "Oh, who's interested in this?" or "Nobody's interested in this." Like, that's a very it's the very I'm the main character kind of opinion. You're not the main. You don't have to be interested in it. You don't have to like it. But assuming that just because you don't like it, that everyone else also shares your opinion, even if like you're in a room of like 7 people, like 10 people, and 7 people don't like it. That's still 3 people that do, you're not you are not a paragon of all Star Wars nerds. Even if you're a majority, you're still not the totality.
I agree with that. I'm interested to see what they do. Like, if they put a great compelling story, I don't care who is in it. I'm going to watch it. And it's Star Wars. I'm going to enjoy it. So,
can I talk about the Ahsoka movie, just our show, just real quick?
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time, more than I thought, more than I did with Ahsoka being played by not Ashley Eckstein. But, we've seen Hera on screen now. We've seen Sabine Wren on screen. And to me, like Hera looks like Hera, but she doesn't sound like Hera. Sabine doesn't even to me look like Sabine.
She doesn't look like Sabine. She has really long hair in live action now.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my, I don't
after the years.
I want to love this, and I do, but I want them to feel like their character. I know, like Ahsoka still feels like Ahsoka, even though she's played by Rosario Dawson instead of Ashley Eckstein. But I don't get that with what is it? What's her Winstead? Is it?
Oh, it's Elizabeth. No, Marianne Winstead, or what's her name?
Elizabeth Mary Winstead, or Mary Elizabeth Winstead. It's Winstead's her last name. She was she was in Scott Pilgrim. That's all.
I'm looking it up right now.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Mary, we were both right.
We just said we had to put it together.
Winstead.
Yeah.
Are we fusing right now? Are we?
Yeah,
fusing
right. We're fusing. We have to. Yeah. I'm not saying she's going to do a bad job. I'm just saying, like, me personally, like, I
get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you also, like, we haven't talked about this because we haven't gotten to the Mando part yet, but we've seen Zeb in live action now, and he's voiced by Steve Bloom. So to me, visually, he's the same. Chopper, we saw Chopper in those little thing. Chopper is the
We've
same.
seen Chopper in Rogue One.
Well, yeah, but we saw him wheeling around, but in this, like, he's moving, he's got his little arms and stuff. You're like, oh, it's Chopper. But I'm really afraid that the people who aren't Zeb and aren't Chopper and aren't Thrawn aren't going to feel the same.
Yeah, I get what you mean, because there is a little bit of, like, sometimes you do have to do some mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
Connecting the animation to live action.
Correct. Yeah.
Like, even, like, honestly, Clone Wars is fabulous. But sometimes, like, through some of the Clone Wars, it is hard for me to picture some of those characters as the same characters we see in the movies.
Yes.
Like Anakin. Like, whenever Clone Wars first came out, I didn't watch it because it wasn't Hayden doing the voice. And I was like, I'm not, like, it's not connecting with, like, sometimes it is hard to see those animated people as their live action people. And it's also going to feel like they have to have, like, good interactions with each other. They have to feel like rebels.
They have to feel, That's the thing for me. They have to feel.
Crew.
Yeah.
And one thing I'm worried about is, I know in Rebels, Ahsoka was really stoic. And I liked Ahsoka in Rebels, but at the same time, I don't like how stoic she is. I like the more witty Ahsoka, and I feel like the older she's gotten, her personality is just so drab.
Yeah.
And even whenever she's talking to Sabine, she's like,
I hated that interaction in the trailer.
She's like, it's been a long time. Like, a lot's changed. Like, can you give your friend a hug? Like, I know they probably will in the show, but I just need some more.
It felt that little interaction I don't know if it's like two different things they've put together as part of the edit or whatever, but it felt very fan fictiony or like fan filmy.
Fan filmy,
like
yeah.
I don't know.
And that's one thing I'm kind of worried about because Ahsoka needs a little more personality for the series to work.
Agreed.
Because she's been dry in Rebels and
I agree.
Mando so far, and even like I know with Luke it was really hard because it's like a
CGI
program, created voice. But if they bring him into a movie, especially which I think they'll eventually do, a full human, like computer generated human movie with the original trio eventually. I think we're getting to that. I mean, they've done them all, and the technology is a lot better now. I think we can.
Especially with they've got the whole Harrison Ford, the Indiana Jones, the new movie. They specifically have him being his younger self, like in the movie. They've used whatever CGI parts to make him look like he did in earlier movies, and it looks, according to the trailers, it looks phenomenal. The only hurdle,
we've got Luke, and we've got.
Well, the only hurdle is could they do that with Leia with her being dead? Like Harrison Ford's still alive, Mark Hamill's still alive. They can say yes, they can say I'm part of that. But can they get that same thing with Princess Leia?
I think they'll have if they have her daughter do it,
Billy Lord.
I think they'll have a press release saying Billy Lord approves and thinks this is the best for the fan. They'll do some press, mushy, like some mushy gushy press release to win the fans over, and then I want to see it. I want to see all three of them fight with Din, Ahsoka in this movie.
Sure, I'm right there with you, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I do have a question for you.
If they do like an Heir to the Empire kind of thing, like Luke and Leia and Han are all super part of that. At least they were in the original story. Obviously, it's not gonna be the same because they're not gonna do Jason and Jaina. Like they're not. It's not gonna be the same. Yeah. But I want them to adapt it. I want them to be parts of it.
Whenever if Mara Jade ever comes into it, that figure you got there is going to be worth like 130 easy. I do want to ask you, with all these new films coming out and like we got all these new shows, is that a little intimidating from a figure collecting perspective?
Well, yeah. I mean, so
that's one thing I've been thinking about.
Figure collecting. Figure collecting is like a treadmill now with new media coming out. Back in the 90s, early mid-thousands, like sure they had Clone Wars and stuff, but they could always easily pump out old figures because there wasn't a deluge of new stuff that they also wanted to make figures for. So like they're, especially with the Black Series being a relatively new line, 6 inches figures have only been out around for 10 years, a decade, which, sounds like a long time, but when you consider that we're celebrating the third movie of the franchise's 40-year anniversary this year, that's the 3 3/4 inch line has been around 4 times as long. And especially during like the dark ages, like when they restarted it back in 1995, they had a lot of time to go back and kind of redo all these little old, like blinking and missing characters and stuff. Yeah. So you've got people like me who wants to see a lot of the old trilogy stuff. You've got people like you who want to see a lot of the prequel trilogy stuff. But Disney's like, but we're making all this new stuff. I don't see Disney. I hate it when people do that. Lucasfilm. It's Lucasfilm. Because I don't like it when people try to put all the negative stuff on Disney and all the positive stuff on Lucasfilm. They're the same thing right now. But Lucasfilm,
it's a mixed bowl of.
It is. I feel like a lot of it's still Lucasfilm. Well, they're at the end of the day, they're a business. We live in a capitalist
society. They're there to make money.
They're doing this to make money. They're not doing this altruistically. But they're like, okay, but we're making all these new things, and don't you want toys from that? And the answer is, I kind of do, but I also really want stuff from the old things too, because that's what I love.
That's exactly the point I was going to make. Is we've had this sort of good period where we're getting TV series, so they can release stuff from the shows that are coming out, but there's no movies to where we're not getting like. I know we got a bunch from Kenobi and Mandalorian, but there's no movies to where they're saying, okay, we're going to do like 15 of this movie. But now we're going to have so much content between all the Disney Plus series, these 3 movies, the new animated shows they're doing, Tales of Jedi. I just feel like...
Yeah, they announced the season 2 of that, so...
I feel like this Clone Wars mini beat is so important, but I feel like we're not getting a ton from it because we have so much stuff coming that there's like a limited time to get all this stuff from Revenge of the Sith and the prequels that fans want. So I'm
the answer to that, is they need to start putting in old stuff and new material. So, for instance, to kind of let's get kind of jumping the gun here, in the latest episode of Mandalorian, tons of battle droids, super battle droids. It might not be an Attack of the Clones battle droid. Now they could easily say, look, here is a Mandalorian battle droid, and for me, I'm like, I don't care what this is from. I just want a battle droid,
Yep.
So I feel like that's a good compromise.
Yeah. But as long as, because whenever I was chatting with the source about a new molded Revenge of the Sith Anakin, and he mentioned that that's been pitched to the people who make the decisions, for years now, in every single one, and they're still reluctant to include prequel stuff. But he did say that could change with his appearances in recent shows and potentially upcoming shows. So I feel like that's a good point, that as long as we're getting these Baby Yoda flashbacks and we're getting these older stuff in newer medias.
The rumor is that Hayden's in Ahsoka.
Yeah, the rumor is that, and he literally was in Kenobi.
He was in Kenobi.
The Revenge of the Sith versions out in the distance, and the Attack of the Clones version he was in. But I think we'll definitely see a Revenge of the Sith Anakin in
I really hope so. I like I said, prequels aren't my favorite thing, but we definitely need, especially based on where the line is now. Like, I can't think of anything they could do to really improve the line in terms of likenesses, in terms of articulation. Like, it is, I feel like, at its peak. I don't really think
quality wise.
Yeah. Like, 10 years ago, the articulation kind of sucked. The likenesses weren't great because the technology.
The Jedi couldn't hold their lightsabers with two hands back then.
Exactly.
And it's literally only been 10 years. So,
but they've in the last 10 years they've fixed all that. So now is a good time to go back and recreate a lot of those old things, like the Luke Skywalker we just got, because they can make truly definitive versions of these characters that will stand the test of time.
Yep. And I'm so hyped that we have that new Anakin head, because now, like, a little bit of it's done. I know they'll probably...
You got it. It's right there.
They'll probably give, like, a more angry expression, because that's how it kind of is in Revenge of the Sith for the most part. But you've got a head, and now I feel like it's easier to pitch now, Like, we've got 10% of the budget.
Yep.
Like, we don't got to spend that now. We've got the head.
Yep, I agree. So. I think that's a good sign. So I think we should just kind of finish it off and talk about the Bad Batch and Mandalorian, and that'll close out this episode.
Yeah,
so
I'm all for that.
Let's finish it off. Bad Batch season 2 done. What do you think? How did it end for you?
I think it was a good season. I think my biggest disappointment was the summit. I thought it was going to be this big grandiose like event with all these Imperial officers, and we're going to get like this sort of like a pitch, like a Disney investors call or something, but with like Imperial officers. And
I mean, we got some. They had I wasn't expecting Krennic to be there, and you had we
had like 6 of them, and we had one that popped up in Rogue One, and we had one that popped up in that was actually in the original A New Hope 12 or however many ones over there. But I thought it was going to be like an event for Imperial officers, you know what I mean? And then it ended up being like these 6 guys chatting, which was really cool. But I thought it was going to be like a bigger event.
Sure.
But seeing Saw pop up was really cool. He came to ruin the plans again,
especially because for me it was neat because it was more of a Clone Wars looking Saw than a Forrest Whitaker looking Saw that we're kind of used to seeing now. So I like that they're not just erasing the fact that Saw used to look like that and
he was a completely different person.
Yeah, you're like, what? That's Saw? Okay, why not? So I like that they're kind of showing that Sure. Yeah, he absolutely did.
They're trying to transition him a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're right, though. He really screwed things up.
Yeah.
Like he basically is the reason that I was right when we called the ending of the season and wondered if someone would die.
One of them would die. Yeah.
We knew.
I thought it would be Echo, but I guess it makes sense that it'd be one that's been around longer.
Well, so for me, I mean, just ripping the Band-Aid off, Tech died.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows now, yeah. But like we called it, we asked like by the end of the season, is someone going to die? I felt like someone had to die to make it so it's just not always like status quo, like all the good guy, like take away some of that plot armor. Like not everyone's going to make it out of the season. Someone has to die. And I guess Tech, because they had spent a lot of time this season fleshing him out. They got rid of Echo because Echo and Tech often overlap in what they can do. And they had those heartfelt moments with him and Omega.
I saw a chart. I think he had the most dialogue this season too.
Yeah, absolutely. And as soon as they did that, I was like, they're going to kill him because you don't build someone up that much to try to make you care about them unless he's either going to be the leader or he's going to die. Yeah, you got to have a payoff. Yeah. So I thought his death was touching. I thought it was, I felt something, which is good.
Do you think he's really dead though?
I do.
He could be alive, but I think he's dead.
I think he's dead. I really do. I mean, do I hope he's not dead? Sure, but like I
kind of hope he's dead because I like it means more in the story.
It means more. Yeah.
Like there has to be loss in war, or else
exactly.
It's a little too
otherwise,
pity, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So someone has to die to show that there's real stakes, there's real consequences. And Saw is basically the reason. Saw blowing up the hangar and the ship and stuff ruined their plan, and alerted everyone and stopped the little train thing that they were getting away on.
Yeah.
And Tech saved everyone, and then he couldn't get back in. The whole we never follow orders thing.
That was great. That was so good. That was touching.
It was touching. I felt a lot when Tech died, and I was sad about it.
Like whenever he said plane 99, is that the code for sacrifice?
Yeah, because of 99.
Yeah. The guy from the Clone Wars. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like that was a great callback, and then
100%. Yeah,
you could just see it in Wrecker's face whenever he said plane 99. And
he knew as soon as he said it. Absolutely, that's definitely a code that they know for sure.
Yeah, that was really good. And
and then I did not see the whole. Okay, it's weird that it went back to what's her face, but I get it. They're in trouble or whatever. But
Sid,
he just immediately turns on them.
I want Sid in season 3. If Sid doesn't take a blaster bolt to the chest, I'm gonna be so mad. I feel like she's gonna try to redeem herself though and save him. I feel like she'll try to because she had that look of guilt on her face.
Sure.
Like I understand selling out the troopers, but you're selling out the kid.
Yeah,
come on, that's pretty low.
Yeah. Well, and even that, we had just got Scorch, and we're like, oh.
I loved your post. I loved your post, by the way. Whenever you're like, I don't even want this guy anymore.
Yeah, just Scorch is the one that captured Omega. Screw you.
Yeah.
But then, what did you think of the reveal of the assistant to
the sister
being a clone? Yeah,
that was wild. So that means Boba Fett has multiple sisters.
But she's not. I don't think she's an unaltered clone.
Yeah, but whenever they were talking about Omega in the first couple episodes, I think the first episode of Bad Batch, they were like, we took the one from Boba Fett and made it essentially another one. But
sure, but she's unaltered, just other than being a girl, she doesn't have the fast aging stuff like the other clones do, and I'm pretty sure based on her age. She's probably been accelerated as well. Yeah.
Which is interesting. So I'm excited where they go for that. And it was a pretty neat cliffhanger. This is definitely the entire back of the.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely a cliffhanger of a season, which obviously we have to be getting a season 3. We have to be getting a season 3. If they end it like that, I'll be, or they'll have to do a movie or something to But what's interesting is they're leaning heavy into that clone stuff, which obviously with
Clone
where they're
rebellion
going
type thing.
Yeah, well, they're also, they're going into where they're going with Mando with that whole cloning thing with the scientist and whatnot. Like they're directly building to like Snoke and the Emperor coming back. Like they're using
all that scientist stuff.
Exactly. So I like that they're purposefully telling these stories again, like we talked about earlier, to sort of flesh out the
sequels. Yeah. All that cloning technology, and the best you could come up with is Snoke. Come on.
Well, there's one.
It's almost like Snoke was intentionally not to be a clone of Palpatine coming back.
Well, so I think in the Lego video game they just came out with last year. One of like the end little missions and stuff. There's a bunch of like really messed up Snoke clones. Like running around, and it's actually really funny because some of them are super fast. So it's like a thing we have to go around and kill all the different Snoke clones.
Oh, that's cool.
From the level and stuff. So there's definitely like a thing. But so
one thing that did kind of disappoint me in this season is they gave us Commander Cody so early.
Yes.
And then nothing.
Nothing.
So I thought in the finale we were going to get some Cody and Rex action. And
I thought for sure
now we got
Cody
to wait for season 3.
Yeah.
Like, come on. But it just like leaves me wanting more, but it's a little disappointing that we
don't know what's happening with Crosshair because Crosshair has been captured or whatever. I thought for sure they were going to free him and take him with them or something. Like none of that happened. The only thing that happened that I guessed was one of them was dying, and I guessed the right one just based on, I feel like they telegraphed it pretty well. But nothing else that I thought would happen happened. I guess they might be saving it for season 3 or going in a different direction. But I overall enjoyed it. I definitely think, there were some episodes that were weaker than others for sure. Because it had, it was like 16, 17 episodes, 18
16,
episodes.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of episodes. Not everything, not every episode has to be a banger.
Absolutely.
But I feel like there were enough bangers in it to justify the length in the show, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, if I had to change one thing, I think I would try to interweave like Rex's story a little more, because I think that would have been made it a little more interesting throughout it. I still enjoyed it, but I would have brought him into it a little more than because he did pop up and he saved that senator. But I would have weaved him throughout the story a little more to.
That's actually a problem I feel like with a lot of Star Wars material right now, and not interweaving storylines very well. Like with The Mandalorian, just like the couple episodes ago where it was like an hour-long episode and 40 minutes of it is the scientist on Coruscant. I didn't hate that episode because a lot of what was happening was interesting, but it's a long, unbroken chunk of that story. Where
to be in The Mandalorian,
correct? They could have broken that episode up into like 2 episodes and broken part of like maybe the episode that happened after that, and kind of go back and forth between what's happening with Din on the planet with the Mandos and the kid got kidnapped or whatever. And then also there's the storyline of what's happening with this scientist. And you could have broken it up and put part of one episode into one and one episode in the other, put a little bit of a cliffhanger in there. At the end of the episode, like the kid gets kidnapped. You're like, oh, what do we do? Or, like, I don't know. There's a lot of things that you can do there that I feel like it would have been more interesting if we weren't just getting long, solid, unbroken chunks of story. Yeah. Where you're like, what else is happening though? Yeah.
Yeah. You ready to move on to Mandalorian or talk about Bad Batch?
No, let's I liked Bad Batch. It wasn't my favorite thing.
I think it's clear that Dave isn't working too heavy on Bad Batch.
Sure.
Just because some of the storytelling we're getting. Yeah. But it's still good, and it's still leading. It's building up to something. Agreed. With the Clone Rebellion. Yeah. which is interesting to me.
Yeah, it's leading somewhere, and as long as the payoff is good, I'm okay with this stuff. For me, it's all about the payoff.
The payoff, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Is a good segue into Mandalorian.
Into Mandalorian.
Let's talk about episode 5 alone first. That was a banger of an episode. That was the one where all the Mandos went to Navarro and saved and rescued him.
That was a banger of an episode because the pirates
was a banger, and they fought the pirates. That was an absolute banger of an episode, and the whole. I think at the end where Bo-Katan, I thought she was tricking Bo-Katan about removing the helmet.
Yeah, you're like, got you.
Yeah. Now you got to go back to Mandalore.
Now you got to go back to Mandalore. I thought that too, honestly. I really did. I'm like, but I definitely, like you said, banger of an episode. I love the whole. Well, first of all, Zeb. Like we got Zeb. It was a fun cameo. Like didn't need it, but love that it happened. And for me, pretty much guarantees that he's going to show up in the Ahsoka show. Like, why would they put Zeb for 20 seconds in Mando and not have him in the Ahsoka? Because now people that didn't watch Rebels can go, oh, it's the one guy from Mandalorian or whatever, And
I love that Steve Bloom did the. I think they said he did the mocap for it too.
Awesome, that's great.
Yeah, that's
definitely did the voice. Thought it was great. Yeah. Loved the focus at the beginning on Carson Teva. I like that, we're getting more of him in the show. I like that, he's trying to break through that bureaucracy. Again, I like seeing the bureaucracy parts of the New Republic struggling to find its footing. I posted this on Twitter. It took the Emperor, and he was a totalitarian fascist dictator. But it took him 20 years to get to the point where he could disband the Senate, without causing a lot of chaos. And he was the person in charge. So, of course, trying to take that and build a functioning government out of that, it's going to have issues 5 years into it, when they're trying to figure out what's going on with everyone. So I fully understand why the government kind of sucks and why the New Republic kind of sucks. Yeah. It's trying to figure out what it's doing, where it is.
And also they're mind flaying people.
Yeah.
Like at what point are you just the Empire with a different logo?
Well, they weren't mind flaying him. I mean? It was specifically his friend or whatever that did the mind flaying part.
Yeah.
I think that they were telling the truth. That they weren't really going to hurt him doing it. They were just trying to
but still, isn't that they're just trying to make him forget some things about?
Yeah, it's still not great. No,
that's still that's still a little. Is this what Luke, Han, and Leia fought for? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's not great.
They got some issues. At what point are you just the Empire with the early Empire? But with a different logo, what I mean? New Republic's got some issues for sure.
No, for sure. But again, they're a brand new government.
Said, screw you all, I'm going off.
It could be one of the reasons. Well, for sure. So, that's one of the reasons why High Magistrate Grief Karga doesn't really want to be part of the New Republic. That was part of the plot point of that episode was he doesn't have that immediate help because he didn't want to be part of the New Republic. He wanted to be his own independent kind of thing, and that was part of the issue when the pirates start attacking.
He had no military or anything to help him
for sure. So I thought that was a fun, when they're trying to muster up the help, and Din gives a little speech, but then Paz Vizsla gets up, and you're like, no, he's gonna talk.
I know you think he's gonna
talk, and he's like, because we're Mandalorians. You're like, hell yeah, we are. We're Mandalorians. Well, gosh.
And then to see them actually invading Navarro.
Yeah.
Well, not really invading, but saving it.
Coming out of the jump ships with their backpacks and stuff like that, the jetpacks.
The one bad thing, it was really the Mandalorians they got us surrounded. What are we gonna do? You have a fucking jetpack on, you idiot.
Jetpack.
Go in the air.
Just fly. maybe they're too vulnerable if they just fly. Where can you fly? If I'm looking at you and you fly up and I'm kind of expecting you to bolt, I'm just gonna shoot you. I feel it's too risky just to fly straight up when you're behind cover.
Yeah,
I can see it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. It's just weird that they were like, they're surrounded us. What are we gonna do? It's like, bro, you got a jetpack.
Yeah, you got jetpacks. Yeah, but I can kind of see it. I did like. This is two Star Wars shows where someone's been knocked out of a high window with a hammer. And I like
that. That armor scene was really cool. Whenever she walked behind, she grabbed that dude with his spine. She
with the spine, by the spine,
put it through his skin pretty much, and pulled it by the spine. Like, that was nuts.
It was great. It was a good episode. Lots of great action. Yeah,
and then it was followed by.
I've seen it twice now because I watched it the night.
I haven't rewatched it yet.
And then my wife, we went to Seattle last weekend, and I came back on Tuesday, and I stayed up till midnight to watch it on Tuesday, and then my wife Lily didn't come back until Friday, so we watched it when she came back on Friday. So I watched it twice, and I did like it better the second time.
Yeah, I haven't rewatched it yet.
Okay.
And it was just too much for me. Like the story, like what Mandalorian and Bo-Katan were doing was cool. Like the investigating.
The CSI kind of investigation thing. But that was fun. I would watch a whole episode, like a whole show. Yeah.
That was really cool. But it was also just like a weird side mission where it's like... Where it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, why does this matter to the overall story type thing?
It matters because they want to do something, and this is a standard Mando thing. This is all of season 1 was like, I need to do A, and then person who's like, I can help you do A, but you have to do B for me first. Yeah. So it's the same thing where like they're like, hey, we're here to talk to these people, and like, well, we'll let you talk to them, but you have to do this for us first, you know. And you're like, it's fine. Like it was entertaining and it was fun to see the interactions. Like there were some genuinely good interactions between Din and Bo talking about the droids, you know, seeing Din's reaction to
and all droids. The Ugnaughts were really cool.
The Ugnaughts,
like seeing Din use his experience of talking with Quill was really cool.
Very much, I've got a black friend kind of situation for me there. It's like, no, it's cool. I know. I knew one Ugnaught, so I understand Ugnaught culture very well. I have spoken pass.
Yeah.
But no, it was still fun to watch. I enjoyed it. The cameos did pull me out of it a little bit, though.
The cameos were awful. I'm gonna say it. I don't mind a good celebrity cameo. We had
Tim Meadows in the last episode.
Tim Meadows is a great actor.
Yeah.
We have Bill Burr, who plays a big role.
Yes.
Literally, I would argue a top 5 acted scene in all of Star Wars. Easily. When he's sitting at that table with Valen.
Agreed.
And I actually 100%. Just rewatched that scene because I follow this TikTok page that does Star Wars scenes, and like the emotion in his voice, the story he tells, you can feel he was at Burning Con, and you just like with his emotion, you can feel he was there.
Yeah,
like, and then we have what other celebrities?
Jack Black. Well, celebrity one. Well, there are a lot of celebrities that do voices. Like you've got like
a little bit.
Yeah.
But this like. If they're good actors, put them in. Like Jack Black can play a certain type of role. I don't think it's a Star Wars role for Jack Black because the way his personality is.
Well, so they reminded me a lot, like Jack Black specifically reminded me because he's so over the top. That reminded me a lot of Amy Sedaris's character when you first see her.
Yeah.
Where she just kind of sticks out because she's just so over the top. Where she's like, I'm here. I'm an Ellen Ripley, homage ripoff, and I'm doing droid stuff. Oh my goodness, I got a missing tooth, and things like that. Where Jack Black is like, I used to be an Imperial. Oh, my dear. You're like, okay, Jack Black.
But with Lizzo, like, I don't mind a good celebrity cameo, but
she's not an actor.
They had her carrying dialogue in those scenes. She felt like she was reading off of like cue cards.
Yeah.
It was,
especially when you're next to Jack Black, who is like over the top kind of.
Yeah, like it's over the top, and then especially when you have Bo-Katan and Din Djarin in there, and you have Lizzo was like, the dialogue was stale. It was like eating cardboard. the way she was delivering those lines. It's like, if you're going to have her in Star Wars, that's perfectly fine, great. But give her like 2 lines. Give her a cameo, not a damn leading role in the episode.
Or you know, she's a musician. Write some kind of like cantina scene where she's doing some kind of performance or something.
Oh, I think they did. You want to know? I was listening to another podcast, and they said she was credited with a music role in the episode, but if you listen to the music, it's just regular music from the guy. Like, so people think that there was a cut music thing.
Oh,
she was credited with a music role for some reason.
Oh, because that like for me, like I would 100%. I like Lizzo. I like her music. My wife listens.
Yeah,
to it all the time,
she's very entertaining.
She's also a fabulous musician. She's a flautist. Mm-hmm. She's talented. She's just not an actor.
Yeah, and Christopher Lloyd, he's a fabulous actor. He can fit into any role, but I guarantee you, he can't write a hit song.
No, absolutely
people
not.
Have their lane, and it's getting to this point where I feel like Jon Favreau is. If you bump into him at a celebrity event and you say, "Hey, I love Star Wars. Can I get in there?" He'll
write your role,
but he needs to pull it back a little, like
a little bit. Yeah,
there's a type of casting that I feel like this was. I can't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue, but like I just don't like the roles they gave Jack and Lizzo. Like,
I didn't mind Jack so much the second time, but the first time I just can't believe the whole time he's on screen. I'm like, I can't believe I'm watching Jack Black in Star Wars. Like my brain wouldn't let me even listen to what he was saying, because I'm just like, this is weird. And it was super bizarre at the end when he's like, here's the key to the city. Like, what? Why are they giving him the key to the city? Like, did they just have that hanging out here? Like, is it just sitting off screen and they just happen to have it? Like,
I just feel like also with them, the season has already been kind of like, it's been like a between fandom seems kind of split, because we have a banger episode 5, and then we have other episodes that people aren't too fond of, and like it's not seems like it's not about Din anymore. And I think I'm at the point where I like it. Season 3 is fine. Yeah. But it's not what it used to be. And I feel like the story, I feel like it was better when it was a more focused story, rather than it trying to fix the sequels and expand into a...
It's always been that. No, see, I disagree with what you just said, because what it is, this season is exactly the first season. Just... You're already kind of expecting it, because we've already had the first and second season. Well, season 3 is just a rehash of season 1, where they're trying to find what they're doing.
Yeah, I get that.
Because that's what season 1 was.
Yeah, I get that, but the difference is with season 1, it was new and we didn't know it to exist.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was you only accepted it then because it was new. But then, like, just think about the episodes of season 1. Episode 1 was cool. Episode 2, I mean, he's fighting Jawas. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, that
he's the
Mudhorn.
Yeah, like, it was fine, but it's like, what are we doing? Like, just,
I mean, we still got Baby Yoda force powers in that episode, though.
Sure, but
which
like,
was pretty wild
for 3 seconds and whatever. Like you didn't know a little kid that looked like Yoda could use the Force.
That was like a really big moment, though.
I guess. But then you got episode 3 was a banger. But then you got episode 4 when he's like hanging out on a shrimp planet, and this chick's trying to get him to stay there. You're like, fine, whatever. Episode 5, super boring. I was like, I want help. I want help trying to find people, or I want to be a bounty hunter too. You're like, fine, boring. Mm-hmm. Honestly, it's one of the most boring episodes.
That one was bad, yeah.
Episode 6, the prisoner thing, that was cool. It was neat, but again, it doesn't really further the story. Like, what? How does that episode, other than introducing him to Migs Mayfeld,
Bill Burr,
like Bill Burr, like, that episode does nothing for the story at all. Yeah. Then you've got episode 5 and 6, which were 2 banger episodes. So I think this is going to be the same way, where we've got a couple episodes that are good, a couple episodes that are bad, but these last 2 episodes, because episode 7 of the season, people have already seen at Star Wars Celebration,
and I've heard it's really good.
I've heard it's one of the best episodes of the whole thing. Like the stuff that happens in it is bonkers. I've had two things that I know of spoiled for me, and one of them was a huge spoiler. So, like, honestly, for this one, buckle up. And for me, and I've said this before, it's not how the season goes, it's how the season ends, which will help you judge whether or not you like the season.
It has to finish good.
Yes,
my argument would be landing. Yeah, my argument would be season 1 was fine with a couple side missions thrown in that didn't necessarily further the story because how new it was and how we didn't know what to expect still and where it was going. But with season 3, The Mandalorian is already the flagship Disney Plus show. Sure. So whenever we have season 2, you leave on Luke Skywalker. Yeah. And then season 3, we have a couple episodes where it's like, we don't know exactly what we're doing. We're not even focusing on Din and Grogu. We focus more on Bo-Katan and the overall Mandalorians, but we just don't know where we're going. I feel like the expectations are bigger than what we've gotten. So
well, no. So what you're
close
doing,
real big.
Yeah, but what you're doing is they're using Din to show. They're using Din as a framework to tell Mandalorian stories. Like we're seeing Bo-Katan and all this stuff happens through Din's story and how he fits in and stuff like that, where he's not the main character. Like he's the main character of the show in terms of he's who we're following, but he's not the main character of Star Wars. He's just a person that's in Star Wars, and he's not always going to be the lead, you know.
Which I think
so. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I just think the show so far, like for this season, comparing it to the other seasons, I think it was better when it was more focused on him and Grogu's journey. Yeah. Rather than it being so connected with an overall group moving, like the group, because it's pretty much been the Mandalorians.
Sure.
Season 3.
But I feel like it naturally has to get bigger. Like, otherwise it's always going to feel small. Like, why at this point, why would Din and Grogu just be tooling around by themselves throughout the galaxy? What would they be doing? You know, like they have to join up with other people. There has to be some kind of movement, and they're not going to ignore those people. So yeah, like why wouldn't he join up with Bo-Katan? Bo-Katan wants to be the leader of Mandalore. You know, why wouldn't they try to go back with his other people? Because what's his alternative? Just hanging out by himself. You know, like I feel like everything has, like, you know, by the end of episode 5, the Mandalorians have decided to stop being hidden in little culverns in the middle of nowhere, getting eaten by random reptiles,
birds,
birds and stuff. And now they've got a whole plot of land on Navarro where they can, you know, grow and flourish and not have to worry about all this other crap that can happen. They've got people that can help them. Yeah. So that right there, like that is growth in the story. That has changed their perspective, and now they want to reunite more Mandalorians. They've decided to stop hiding in the shadows, and they want to rebuild Mandalore. So now they're going out and saying, okay, we know about these Mandalorians over here, let's go get them in. And, you know, there was a whole sidetrack to get there. I get that, it was kind of silly, but the end result is they united, and they're going to unite these two different factions of Mandalorians now, and we're going to see how that works out. So like, you're right, it's not 100% focused on Din Djarin and Grogu, but I feel like it can't stay that way and be an interesting story, because like where do you go from there? You're just like, it's got to get bigger.
I also just wish I feel like people would have more patience for episodes like episode 6 if there were more than just 8 episodes in the season.
I agree. No, I agree. They need to do like 10 episodes, I think, is a minimum for them to do. I mean, Andor had 12, and I thought that was perfect. Another big show that I'm absolutely loving right now is Star Trek Picard season 3. Mwah! So good. It's got 10 episodes. It's a Game of Thrones, 10 episode seasons. As soon as they started doing fewer than 10 episodes, the quality dropped, So when you have those episodes to sort of flesh things out and you can sit with things a little longer, I agree with what you're saying. They really need to lengthen these season episodes for sure. 100%.
Yeah. I think 8 episodes is just too few for the
It's too few. 10 minimum, 12 I think is perfect.
Yeah. So the next time we have a podcast, we'll have wrapped Mandalorian, because we'll record on
I'm pulling my calculator. I said calculator. This is where my brain's at now.
Calculator.
My calendar. We'll do April 20th. Right? Thursday, April 20th.
420. What up?
Hey. I think we're having a guest that episode. Is that?
I think so. I think it is. Is it Luke? We're
going to have Luke Ness Monster on. I think that's the episode anyways. Or the day. I could be wrong, but I think that's it. Do you have any more thoughts about Mando?
No, I mean,
Sure.
I liked Bad Batch just fine. I'll definitely in for season 3 whenever that drops. The animation for Bad Batch was stellar, start to finish. I am enjoying Mandalorian, but like I said, the last two episodes of the season will really decide
it's going to make
whether or not, like, it'll make or break the season, and either be the worst season of the 3 or the somewhere else, I guess. So there's only three ranks it can be. I don't know if it can beat season 2, because season 2, in my opinion, season 2 only had one bad episode, and that was episode 2. Everything else, I loved every.
That was the Ice Spiders one.
Yeah,
right?
I hate the Ice Spider. For me, it's like Ice Spiders and that Toro episode from season 1, episode 5. Those are the 2 worst episodes for me.
Yeah.
I even like the whole hour-long excursion on Coruscant in the season more than those episodes, because at least I'm like it's at least fascinating to see Coruscant for me. I don't know.
Yeah. That's for sure. I just think going forward, hopefully we don't have, leading roles given to people who can't act. Like, people are talented, but in their own lane. Like, we need to keep them, give them a cameo, but we don't need to have them starring in like lead roles. And there's also certain actors that just have a style that I don't think matches with Star Wars, and that was Jack Black for me. And I haven't watched it a second time, and people have said they've watched it a second time and are less upset. When you're kind of expecting it and stuff, it's not as bad. 100%. It's one of those that, like, it's off-putting at first, but then you kind of run into it. But it's the same thing with Pelimoto for me. I did not like her anytime she was on screen, but after her being in Obi-Wan, was she in Obi-Wan? But she was in Book of Boba Fett at the very least. Boba Fett, yeah.
She was in Book of Boba Fett.
She lost her tooth.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That is when she lost her tooth. Like, it took a while for me to warm up to her as a character. So I have a feeling, if he ever shows up again, I'll probably like them better than I did the first time, for sure.
If they did a Jack Black series, is that a is that a day one pre-order for you?
A day one pre-order. Are you kidding? What is he? Captain Bombardier? Bombardier?
Bombardier. I guarantee they let him pick his name.
100% they did.
That's definitely a Jack Black type name.
Yeah, it absolutely is. 100%.
I had an AirPod die, by the way. That's how long we got. We're over 3 hours for the main show.
Yep. It's
not including Patreon intro.
Well, I think honestly it's about time to call it quits anyway. We've been going for a while. I've been sitting for a while, and I think we've pretty much talked about everything.
Yeah, I think so. And we had some amazing reveals. Really looking forward to that for Santan. Really looking forward to that R2D2.
For sure.
Don't forget to do your pre-orders on Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday, right?
Tuesday,
April 11th. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
We'll be back on April 20th with Luke Ness Monster, I believe. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me at the Star Wars Black Series on TikTok and Instagram. Mike, where can they follow you? And you got any videos coming out? What you got going on?
Yeah, I just reviewed the 3 figures, the Mara Jade, the Dr. Aphra, and the Scar Trooper Mike on my channel. So if you want to go watch those, it is up now. I also reviewed Cal Kestis. I don't know if from the Jedi Fallen Order. I don't know if I had that up last time, but
Survivor.
Yeah, Survivor. That's it. Jedi Survivor.
Ooh, that's coming out soon, by the way.
It is coming out soon. Very excited for it. I'm at Trusty Sidekick on Instagram, Mike Case on Twitter, Mike Case 82 on TikTok. You can follow me on YouTube. I got lots of stuff. It's all good. And then you can also follow us as a podcast on Twitter at TBS Cantina.
Yep. Also join our Facebook group. That's just Black Series Cantina.
Yeah, we're both pretty active in it. So if you want to talk to us, that's an easy, fun way to do it.
Yeah, and people like post their fine editions and and their hauls, and they're just post their collections, which it's pretty cool in there. and all that. So we thought about having this episode also be live for people in the Facebook. We decided against that for now, but maybe the next big episode we have, maybe we'll do that, maybe we won't. So go join the Facebook just in case. And then you can email us if like there's an article or something that you want us to cover on the show, or they think we might miss something that's kind of like a vague written article out there, whatever. blackseriescantina@gmail.com. We have merch if you wish to have a Black Series Cantina mug. We have a dual logoed mug, which you can purchase. Also, we have the shirt. I'm repping the Rancor shirt today, 2021 to 2021. I think that's freaking hilarious. Now we need a PFP shirt, 2023 to 2023. Also, support us on Patreon if you would like. We would appreciate any support. We have a couple tiers. We have a $2 tier, which is just a general support tier. We have a $5 tier, which gets you access to the video of the podcast. And we have a tier that is $11.38 that you can join us on live streams every episode rather than just the really big ones that we do like this one.
Yep.
And then we do have a VIP tier. I think it's $25. And then with that tier, we can do like a once a month like Patreon exclusive chat, which is, and I think for those I'm gonna let the VIP pick like the topics we talk about. It's gonna be like their show. They pick everything, and then we'll just kind of like go that way.
Sure.
So I think that'll be a lot of fun. So if you want to do that, that'd be great. So yeah, that's all I got. Great reveals today. I'm looking forward to a couple more Mando Manias.
Black Series is in a good spot right now, 100%.
Absolutely. And then hopefully a couple more Mando Manias, and then we'll have some new figures to talk about next episode.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening. We'll see you later, or talk hopefully to you later. Something. Bye.